ethnic issues yefa ede kan ede asumdwe ba mebusa sa because eba ethnic conflicts dia ye obebre oye man ni mu ena apart from say dagbon ne aka ni nyina no ye hye da nya ne poma sibrem per lasting solution mae mo amote security and intelligence ase no ebi ana enne new theories new concepts about there is a new approach to tribal conflicts. Why adentina ye failing in brokering peace ewo areas a ebusuan tokwa ama nipa ewu
ye tian say that's the concept of security na ye security ye da sukura tete colonial masters no die no traditional concept of security. Colonial masters no omo adopt security strategy no bra no mo dey exploiting and so mo nya faso wo yeso. Intuition northern part of the country ni kula na do so. And so mo share that to share wo mo ko share major tribes na na ho na so no. Ebi na ama boko issue no aya tete asema da so ho no na. Di ebra ni bie ba na ewi ase ko na nyuma independence na ba no. Trust and kitin be do so feel so so mu do mo so ni kwa so ko so obi ase. Ana wo mo so anu mo nya tumi ama English bloni e man tumi so ni bi no so feel say yem tane ma wo so won cho ho. Eno ya bia ba. Ekwan ye faso eye ye niema kanetete no ye faso bo eban edi asem ye use your traditional conflict resolution mechanism edi CSC ensem no. Constitutional governance and democracy by no. Ye be a unity system of governance no. Amasa ne many nyina no ayede asesa. Edu be bi kura no ye kai akwa men kroma sam na hempo no tumi kura ne kura wo nyina no emso ogifiri won sam. Enti sa ne many nyina ka ho na abetum ne ene obuoni ani dia e de babusua ene ahens one your traditional leaders na hodo ni nyina cheda ni hosa enti no ama oya obi e wo bi no mu emu enti no yen abrofo no nti sey na omudi gu eman tete na e suppress ye bi no mu no a enem le ya e fi se ni biaba no yen so ye ta so stom na semusia insese ye behwe baby efiri ni ade no kwale ato baby da ni ahwe ma history na guide ye no asemisi ya banyo otoso no asa soja for the police or no dia koguo ade a hayen pa enti e ba ne sa wudi ohun sem kofo mu enti onipa no antimi nkanasem ewi asenso bi ani se amama nkanasem ya enti police for anasa soldier for no free one na onu so fees wanya tue ba ko bia no no so aka cement ase eno ya de ba ko hayen no quality culture yo en shede ni yensem ni bebremu a ye kan ade bi wo no a onipa nim se ade we de ene we ebi kura be kokko to ni skanti na ebu atia e ba ne sa onte no ho ase ini nyina aka ho na ama ne yehu no
Aben approach etil sense so far. Aben was confronted with Boko, almost switching from peacekeeping to peace enforcement. Meaning to what extent ena assassin bribi wo Boko. Benyiri die baye, at best, we got a statement from the Interior Minister. Regional Minister Owoho akọ Cote d'Ivoire ene ne counterpart akọ tenase di nkọmọ ahwe Ghana for Owoho asetenemu. Yen share den hunu a clear approach to Benyiri. The question is from where you sit, ususu say Aban we on top of sa ethnic conflict here na. Can we go to sleep and believe say Aban de bibia gu kwan mu a ebetimi aso abapa?
Asom na wo family ni anu papa
Mia weni mame.
Edin pa. Taminu ne hia one on one enye dia. Metimi aka ne wosa me kan bia. Ba fidie so no de be yedin.
Na chese nsem wo ho ana.
Menka se aban no aya ade a na so aferi. Ne meka ne se aban ne bom. Na ense medical criticize aban no measures a ode ekọ boko. Any guarantee issues even this particular issue drama. Now, Adia Bakun said what you're saying is right now, almost before, almost no, almost call for war, Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay.
And you know, almost Cocosa and said that you had to say, as some of you vote out again. Now, vote for the one that put to be.
Yeah.
The one call and said that you have to be right. And said that you know, the one I call. Almost I did Baba. Artificial boundary now 1844 more 1888 or 1884 colonial masters in European Union of what Africa more yet who young call was there through a man through Africa the women are back for the price now that they identify me a culture but then a medical can approach now a day and emphasize traditional concept of security na animal at the buy fiti colonial masters post colonial farming command new things and combat me as a son no more I the same approach
in what is the modern acceptable approach or sanka abaye
98.9
no say there be a mistake in particular me advocate for Africanized concept of security.
Okay.
And she said, yeah, locally, no. You bet me, Eddie, because you see, we import national security strategy from UK and Holland. So, a Honoma, the year my judgment, what they baha, any judgment. Problem I is, you go to say, Ghana and African. Yeah, import will be any dear wablu, near the Aba. The national constitution, the same thing. It's never be brave to them. And I was saying, young Kasaya Temaster, yeah, research. Near develop young Kasaya dear. It's me, the research I mean, it's all about Africanized concept of security. It was a local content, no, yeah, dream one Kasaya dear. If you say, Obronisu, and there will be Nisu, and your back.
Okay.
One yama, you declare on her, and you will back on her, you never declare in security, and your back. But who says, see, I'm in no say. Abrofuno, after Omuniama be brave. In fact, policing concept, and intelligence led policing.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't say transformational policing here, so still, connected to some now. Master says I should come for you. Master says you should come to police station. Police in nature were not the court was threatening. I don't know, sir. Who did that there?
Oh, yeah, Sungu Suda.
Approach lenses, sir. One more crown and almost the same. But one would develop a concept with any bear. One would be intimidating. No master pressing. Now you jump at you go to me and you're almost to me the public to them. No more the aquarium may. If you can differ who you know. And you must be brave or one of my was here, son. But a near man, you go yeah. And to see a better system, near who say, yeah, before. And you must say, yeah, a boy. What you say? And yes, idea approaching you, because and yadia beboy.
Very well. My ethnic conflicts and Yirina Nimbusa say generally or minor internal security, as I was saying. I mean, I finished last year. We've seen very, very serious, heinous crimes. Akoso, Yehunu, incidents be Homo Festival, Tua Kasa, Nipe Wuwo, within this year, yeah. And yeah, so him be I didn't see a kunyan so yeah, outdooring, need to Kasa, no him and Kasa, Wu. Akwadebi din to ase na etu akasa na abo obi no awu. Are these enough to say there is insecurity in Oman anymore? Are these not regular normal crimes ebetimi esi wo aban bia mu. What general outlook on internal security to say?
Near mechanic say, and yeah, papa.
EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben.
Dog,
Yeah, me say.
Millennium Challenge Corporation, any the U.S. government decision, it was saying, was it to be expected?
No, a bit sudden. But it is not surprising because Russia, acquire US FSO, Eto Agua, Etochunaya, we impose tariffs on our idea, no, very rational. Because we try to draw attention to the fact that we already had arrangement with them, and that trade relations with them. But no, and you know, from that time, no,
BFM.
now Obia operator US international, they can take it.
Hello, Doc. Doc, my
Hello.
experience breaks be online. I'm not sure if you're on the move there, but I say if you chase kakra.
Now, the back of I hear
You need common sure say be.
okay. It is a who follow US for a year or more real foreign policy. You realize that they don't really pay much attention to previous arrangements, especially given the way they handled us in terms of agua. So the kaya one more impose tariffs bini ade have Jimmy Bray. It's surprising, but it is unexpected. Now, one reason I'm here unexpected is the very foundation of this decision, no, had to do with their Appropriation Act. Now, you would ask yourself, how much of attention do we give to U.S. Appropriation Act? Because again, you pass the Appropriation Act now. Ordinarily, you wouldn't think that other nations would pay much attention to it, especially when it is only giving a backing to the budget. So it is a budget people would pay attention to.
Okay.
So if we have to pay attention to anything at all, it will be the U.S. budget for 2025.
Yeah.
But to pay attention to the Appropriation Act of U.S. for their expenditure and then going into 2026 and all, it's not something that will easily attract much attention. So I think that is rather surprising. It is rather sudden, but it is not surprising that U.S. will take that decision. And the fund, it is rooted in the Appropriation Act, and that is why we are seeing what we are seeing.
Okay, say rooted in the Appropriation Act. What you saying? Is that the point you're making?
Exactly. So, say in appropriation for the sake of our listeners.
Yeah.
The year budget the area and sika ye bedinu afibie ye emra emasa budget na hoden because ordinarily budget no if the executive arm on eba if as part of the checks and balances globally no na parliament another there's a second body in the case of US and Ghana no the executive within the budget in the bar parliament and senators so Rebia, a Bemasa, budget need to be after the big. In the woman, Emma, budget no to be no. No, Ducoshe would say, Sir, Millennium Challenge Corporation. So, with the US car, not a woody for twa. The next compact won't qualify for it. Just a way to can another wireless track. I don't know, Macan, what a man. Is in a paper. It is what the US can only for two. I won't mean some matter of amount A through the MCT. It is another for you know. So, OSHA, one more 2025 appropriation now, Asian tax. So, with the for two, you will not qualify for the next compact. And so, we yet the Womoka and the Yen to be entry. And the almost one finalize the restructuring, debt restructuring. No. It is based on that, no, they have disqualified that. We have now about 98 countries now. One more 80 countries there. One more green light, no. But 18 of us were not disqualified for various reasons. There are any illegal reasons. they are purely based on their law.
And purely based on their law, and our law no so actually because a kaya didn't intia. But what do you make of Senator James E. Risch issue or raise here before the Senate said Ghana? In fact, he accused Ghana say you prioritize your debt repayments to Beijing over obligations to American companies and then the taxpayers. From what you know in terms of the last budget I had by our commitment to servicing the external debt and near so far, meaning say under the IMF World Bank agreement, you know, ya restructure your debt, Emma, your nyamre kakra bi a yebetimi di enya respite kakra. What do you know as far as near Senator Iken? Is it the case sampa you treaty a kaya de China with priority esne a kaya de American companies ana?
Oh yeah, that is true, and it is true because ofa amay we are saying na aya ko say ye de China ka se homo akagina.
Okay.
And na China for so no one be a bit radical.
Mhm.
It will share other countries na a day China ka kese say e de homo na womo yes someone they prove someone. Do you remember say even that restructuring the plan they do almost no person over table so
exactly me kai pa. In fact, because President Akufo-Addo kra de a chopper for other presidents so money China and Kasamaye.
Exactly, right. You know what you are doing. And see, you know, China, based on the president, based on their history, no, I think that the one who dealing no one here. And in some countries, China sees their airport.
Yes.
China sees their airport and operated it. In other countries, there are major corporations, like the Electricity Company of Ghana, and there's some major corporations. China is here, and all the revenue able to go to. It is only a China and Kunya Santa Wantawano. Now, I will say you pay much more attention to them because we only one particular country and as compared to the other countries. And so that is the reason behind our giving China that special attention. And I it well with US for one more buyer. But you see, I think it may be a Yakata Apolana with Diana, who could be say, I think the way I know US for dealing, now institutions were between their brain. I think we were trivializing it in my view. I might be wrong, but said they say, would you be car? Not the Oman also, as I yet dancing economically, the USR. I mean, so I kind of want to be there. And because who could show off? Wow, I want anyway. I mean, let's be realistic. You see, Ghana, developing, we need partners in our quest to develop. And see, for me, the Obi Wan didn't say cry. Now, or you did there. They focus on your thing. But what can be near the end of the day? Are you sure you are there yet?
Or refer to your foreign minister in response to the U.S. Senator. No?
Exactly, because look, South Africa for one more ambassador. Okoyebi, Yaman two is on to one. But I said, U.S. ambassador of South Africa also no. Yes, the family everyone.
There be.
We are so we do one in one. Our kind of us when you deal. I mean, our kind of one because also we at the NBA. No, I come in. Was also kind of a program point.
Yeah.
Oh, but we also see. If you almost say Embrana, or maybe you, they didn't necessarily young way Embrana Berry.
Because we had Ghana.
They were IMF, and so they could have probably been lenient with us. I'm not saying say no, I'm the Abba because already may explain the reason, but I mean, and we know how international relations work. If I know who any good books our kind of offer so if you one way then one when is why they want to our kind of offer so for me I think that we should be careful going forward because if we start paying our debt, servicing our debt, that's the tactical way. Look, the first compact we got about $547 million. Even as far back as between 2007 and 2012.
Yeah.
At the time, $547 million, a huge sum. The second compact, it taking place between 2016 and 2022. Over there, $316 million. What is about almost close to a tranche of the IMF deal.
Yeah.
It's, so we just get to say, I mean, it's wow, foreign FX market, essential MOSKB. And if you look at the areas, the MCCs, the publisher, we are the second compact like this focus on energy sector. And we've been talking about energy sector areas.
Yeah.
The first compact deals with agribusiness and infrastructure. It focuses on key sectors of the economy. And there's this one, we were hoping that it will incorporate human development near there. But then look at what has happened. So, obviously, yes, we got that. For them, it is their operation at work. But you would also agree with me there. I said your boss on a low key, I don't have answer one already. You are not in their good book, so they might not give you that immediate look.
And you are talking about a government at its inauguration. President in a signal, yes, we may want to consider other partnerships like joining BRICS nations, some other blocks, apart from the traditional allies we have had in terms of economics. And what do we need to outside the Honswa? A lot of the players within those blocks, diplomatically, they have issues with the United States. And this could send your old challenge diplomatically including and someone who could in response to the US Senator. When you now bet me a boom, ama say asem kurani wa omekwa emre ni mu e de emre bia we
this year you have better issues in also ABBA.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's because it's a US technically it's not seen as friends as they used to. Because Osha, was it that Tuari invitation to Ghana?
Yeah, Ibrahim Tuari Ba. Yes.
Yes. Any affiliation to Russia.
Mm-hmm.
All these things, it's almost as if we are allowing some threats to the friendship we have with the US.
Okay.
It is not open. And yet, but sometimes you will Cold War. Why would we share the economic news and no US share one more? No more do go in terms of their dealings with that. Also say one more who you say Adam because look at their US their visa regime from this year and look at this Agua.
Yeah.
They didn't consider at all. Look at this new development with MCC. It tells you say US is not giving us any space. Though let me put on record that Trump and Nankasano Ocean is obeying us here. Oh no, yes, but then I also think that when in the father and for more day, no many people have one shana while you
Sasikaya MBM impact ben a benya economy no so tokro ben e ba bebo.
You better as a pass. The other can say, the inflow in Dallas, because the last compact, original compact in the name would descend the second compact, because original compact in the same kind $547 million. The second compact is $160 million. So I cannot predict, but then at the moment I can around these figures now. And Kababuama, with South Africa because the way I said, API and Quebec to me, I'm so in terms of the effects. Oh, then after first one, second compact now, and it focused more on the energy sector. And see, overall, now we are looking at we are looking at infrastructure, the energy sector, and human development. And these are areas that are very important to every economy. And see, maybe when is number one, shortfall, the urban hydrogen is an opportunity to improve upon our currency, So opportunity, secondly, budgetary support. It could have helped to reduce our deficit and help us to sustain the positives we recorded regarding our macroeconomic variables. And so for me, these are the negative impact and after so then we have to be a bit tactical and show physical discipline. Because I will not be surprised if we did the budget with this in mind, because the budget is never some amount of deficit. I think about 3% of GDP. And so the way and manner we're going to finance the deficit, and I'm sure now some of these grants, aids, in the urban side, we have to be extra disciplined. And obviously, we may also have to look at other areas, which may have more grants and contracts of this nature. The US for no approving Sabia, that's the harmony and your fines are. Then we don't also have to sit idle. We have to start looking at other ways, other places, maybe being alternatives.
Any thoughts on that? Alternatives,
Come again?
Any thoughts on other places, alternatives,
Oh, so the idea, any Asian where the other should be Kanka. Into the US where your major is home. I was here to say Asia for me. Other look, me for the men of these guys, the Emirates for me, almost war. Other things, you have to say oil, see at the level.
Yeah.
Yes, they may not be as developed as we think, but in terms of trade and support, we can start considering all over. Oh, so for me, I think that China, the Russia, the peace will be done with here. We may have to start. Otherwise, we should be we should be able to accept the fact that look, we cannot do without US. So let's keep quiet. Trump administration a bit holds that, but with the money absorbing otherwise, we should begin to consider other avenues. So for me, I think that the Asian world, though US wouldn't like it and the allies wouldn't like it, that we consider the relationship we have been with them. But if that is what will get us going, well, that will be it.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. EpaHoaDaben.
EpaHoaDaben. Say it again. EpaHoaDaben.
Now together, EpaHoaDaben.
Awesome.
EpaHoaDaben.
Baby, when you say first, now you've been shut down per politics. You see, politics for no money or money and your money. But Namumu, a binumu soonti, and you know, near the say a bebuama of my narcos. Now, about 1 o'clock, per now I a lawyer, among my lawyer for in your Pua Koda. Yamishra.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
twaso kuminya ediye brebu de mama ya sase hondo atuse sebeye yo seriye yo na ose 98.9 FM EpaHoaDaben jumedie ni Memoaha emu akwaba eba ye dwumadie eso bidin ene Bismark Brown obetimi afremi bibi baby a wo biada meda ase bebre se wo de wafidie no ato 98.9 FM woti enka radio so you can also join us live on Facebook isane se dwumadie ni twagu samre our Facebook so and all our social media platforms. We're live on YouTube, we're live on X Spaces, we are live on TikTok. Baby. Ghana ba ko penny wo. Now see the e na wo ye de abo man no. Ye busa ye ho ne abusa man penimfo a ye de o man na hye wo mo nsa. Oda so e wo odo e ma wo man Ghana na. And anyway, take a minute. Ask yourself this question. And find an honest answer to it. Say beye ye. Say enye yo. Obi meye maye. Omanfo na ne wo se e kire. Enen so oba de nyankopon adaroma. Yasamba edi osum ebreye man Ghana ene yankasa ye ho. Na ene wie issues be na da prono so ayadwenwene ho. Gina ye na warhwe na PRC ye ne da wo mo ye na. Obetua more for water, obetua more electricity de na hwe be ye sutromienu. Because me no ka say ECG4 edi proposals are copy PRC. Almost above 200% increment in tariffs. Yenti a wan hwe a eho so tro de beye bienu ni se me no wo ka say VRA enso so the proposal akoto eye PRC animu a omo close to 59% increment in eye tariffs a womo eje distributor eye ECG. Yenya krado na ahwe a ye baba betua pa sanso na insuo nso akwakoye edi kanfo ye bia ma ye na yen kasa nso so enne ye di ade enne yen nso so ye hwa akire ni ye ne sen
Happy FM 98.9. Happy FM 98.9.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
And then we hear a possible tariff increment at PURC at the Bebe to Ghana for Swan. Yes, also at the Anibetche, the new Patriotic Party Amanyo Kunu Emu. It's an say a name party Nisha or the Abeto, a Wura no be a Tibaka Monsa say a meaty a one requirement, you know, and once a more koba ama the Center for Democratic Development CDD. The Economic and Organized Crime Office Yoko adwene SC NPP so one asem ni say ehun be hia na be fata so say Yoko ebe probi one pese womo etu franka de ma NPP amanyoko a omagye penny no manya 4 million Ghana cedis ede kwa kotua ma party no as development fee for the CDD sa amount na flag bearer hopeful see ekwa kotua no e wo se Yoko eye hwehwemu ben na Yoko nye obi sika yira ana se yo CDD fonso esusu se ebi ana ewura no mu yamfa kwan pa bi so enye se sika na na we weigh the heaviness or weight of sa argument where CDD e dia betumu na wa winim say Operation Recover All Loot enra ye hye ho nkomo ase isane say NDC General Secretary e dia betu dwa say a lawyer for bi omo ye NDC for NDC Lawyers Association Attorney General ne di animu odi mu tintiman pa ene say ye hwe animu say aban no de MPP appointees wo mo de to wo mo so say omo awia o man ni sika ye de ombekwa akogina semdi bia no NDC lawyers bi e de adani business and na womu techire and na omo cutty deals with NPP for we the words of the General Secretary of the NDC Fifi Fiavi Kwete we still Benyiri is in focus ebedi Benyiri nkomo as our guest join us this afternoon. I'll play back nkomo me di enra efa Benyiri hu with the security expert na yesua de ba ku mienu miensa but then the update and answer latest development with regards to Benyiri conflict, you know, and it said His Excellency the President appow a committee say omo emfa roadmap bimra, and this is actually under the auspices of the Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak. Now, openia wada committee nano the security and peace analyst nimuno Emmanuel Bombade ono eneba bedi committee nenimna omo establish a roadmap the peace ebeba Benyiri. So that's the update and the latest development with regards to Benyiri. We'll still keep our focus on Benyiri near the Nkomono. Now, a possible and the best approach to dealing with the situation. Say Asha see or see a two a see a precon. Na mama medane assembly dawa nchirima baba toasa and tokwano so. We are looking for solutions. We are asking questions for the right answers. You want to join us live on Facebook? Bra ni nkomoni nyina na oba Facebook no kai say wo de o messages nso ebeto ho wo ba anu abehwe na wo de wano ato nkomoni mu bi wo ma as a silent observer. Later so you be activating phone lines na ma na wa join in na wie obetimi alternatively at the WhatsApp line no be the WhatsApp line na to dwa na the messages no afa so e de aba 059 405 1145 059 405 1145 and no WhatsApp line abefa so e de messages na ba mejebre na makenkan ni nyina da e de amawo abronya DC Bono regional chairman Emma the NPP Beno ka say omu CID for the no court are Monday abronya DC say one side enko posifo akukumu na aposifo hwehwemu a omo ye ene adwuma wo omu hia mere dia ye no omu entimi nye enti ene the reports we are gathering is say abronye could not secure a bail for himself na court aremande no say onsan kɔ aposifo ekukumu. We'll keep our eye on Abronya DC ene ensɛm na ebobo free hoba. But former Tema West Mrashebedwani ede abetu dwa the honorable Ni Kwatei Titus Glover adodo na frɛ no MP3 odi bia betum o se biribi eto Abronye while he is in custody with the police Omubehodi President John Dramani Mahama personally liable and responsible for Abronye. Ntimino ka say ne kasa ye ne nchiremu ni se omo ede Abronye ache John Mahama ni ebeto di bia no ade a omubehodi no responsible. We're still keeping an eye on that development as he's been denied bail and remanded to police custody. Obetimi the reactions about to this very matter. Na yadwenwene ho na nso akere wadwene ewo ho. Wode ba no ne edi ho komo. But aboso kan fo nso kyere se eneni Nigeria fo no mo ne omo te ado awoma so. Wo mu ntimi ne omo ntena aboso kan ho biem. Nti Nigeria fo entu emfiri aboso kan na Ghana fo enje wo madwuma no omo nye. Wonim se ye wo mra GIPC mra no kyere se enwuma bi wo ho no mo a oman no ye hyehyɛ ye mu no ye de ato ma Ghana fo nko a retail business de ye ma ahoho enye bi enti ukotu aba beton adwuma no Ghana fo nko a apampam store adwuma Ghana fo de tabletop adwuma Ghana fo de ene shops nkiti Ghana fo nko a na GIPC mra ne se ye de enso ene ukọ Ghana dwomu a China fo nyina ahyedwa a wo mo eton ade ukọ Ghana dwomu a Nigeria for man memei ene ye nuanom man memei pre de ndene wo dwom ene ye circle abu ukọ kantamanto kra de China for digwa chese na ukọ mining communities no kra de airtime bo hu China ni ba pa no the table abesi wo the tomatoes aguso a wo ton edidwa na yatena wa ye hwehan over the years ama sadie we atena hwa amene come here say abeye a part of our society woman be entrenched yaji omatumu a wo so edi edwa ya yedi ebi. And over the years yehunu guta yehunu associations ahodo a wo mu didwa sorry say wo mu mpene ma manfrafo ne ahowo ma maji wo madwuma emmoso. Almost every year aban foforo bi aban so cry this thing comes up, and yet again I say unity ebiem ewo abose okan. But it's interesting, say, reactions ni bi aba experts ni bi kasa ne say, adan na GIPC wo ho na ye fatu ye ho so say, ye enforce GIPC mra no. And the deputy director of Environmental Protection Agency, e da betum say, sa ade na traders ne ye no, enye wo mo adwuma, omunyai ma GIPC no munye. Question is na GIPC da ben no de ne mra ne ba be ye adwuma. Say obroni eba be investment o man yi mu dia ye hye ne kete mani meet ne capital threshold and requirement e dia to ho enso say West African citizens CB gbawura ye market mu a the same GIPC ye hwan emfa mra ne nya adwuma. So can traders ewo eye aboso kan tiptoe lane any other places ebetime nya hotoso ewo GIPC mu say omo be sanitize market na is it not the case is same we kra na me say agensem yentimi nya ho hwe I mean say Nigeria for no strategically omo ware ye ma no omo fire me ni omo wowo nti one wowo dia na chese wa be part and parcel of oman no chese through marriage or ma wa ha dia ene no odidwa ma ne ye they are finding so many ways to entrench themselves, but ye what regulators omo ni tua omo ni guso omo hwe say aboso kanfo enne de by force kosi ye kotu nkrofo ya wo ma ye bone ana ye ne ombeka se wie na ye busa se adwenfoforo na aba se munya se adwuma yi ma GIPC no onye no omuso musen eyade a wo mo bepene ana na to what extent eno betime tu esa Nigeria for a free one market. You want to be part of this convo, bra never joining in me fan komono enhyehyɛ so EpaHoaDaben dwumadi ni na enche na ye de futu semo ba na fe nso ye de nkran hyɛ semo no so aba be hyehyɛ so ni nyina ewo dwumadi no so ye bekɔ ahoma no so na ye ne experts ahodo adi nkomo na awie MPP nkomo no ye bebo modern ne opani ode sa asemi ba ye adoso mu kakra ne adi ho nkomo the honorable Adai Nimo wa withdraw from the flag bearer race because of exorbitant fees party charge.
98.9.
Nano, I mean, honorable Kennedy Japan reaction to it clearly. Actually, say, Eyadim Guasem say, yes, development fee 4 million Ghana cedis. What in Omo Yadini, but sure, so bet ya, no one raises canon so. But the interesting angle is, must there be a probe into Sadia na? Yaka political corruption ya. There be a can't the brofono to sudi hunkomo. But indeed, yentuhuan among kesiye, especially when it comes to corruption within the political parties. Corruption yakoso ewo parties nimu. Eno no ya ni enkane kesiye because eye womo mu fi asem. Ena Ghana for no so ya che ye ho agu parties mienu so MPP ni NDC. Inti MPP internal politics a corruption koso a yenkane kesiye. Saa nso no kopie mu NDC mu a yenkane kesiye. But the kwaya Ghana sika ye wiade a na MPP ni NDC e de ye politics. Question is ne CDD di aba no. Wone o me ya adwene ana. No ba Facebook a kire wadwene o. Say it's about time wa Yoko ebe probi sa aspirants ya omatimi raise 4 million Ghana cedis ekwa kotua. Ebi so asem ne say yo opeso ye president di o so mu yedu. Na se o party ehia 4 million Ghana cedis as development fee. Na as a flag bearer utimi raises esika na ense se ye wanwa ense se ye hu ense se eya de fufuro bi mamanfo me ka se ye mprobi ye bie nsem no mu de ato ho. I'll come to you later ewo dwumade no so na wo de wonso so wano atomu ebie and obetro phone numbers na gu ha mame a na emre no so a wafrɛ ne akasa
EpaHoaDaben.
obefrɛ later on 055 565 7278 so and 055 156 3916 so fasa numbers yi to ho mame the emre no so na bibia wetimi ababi na me shut that the number na to ho no mo ahead of time because ya na nkofo complain say ya na nkofo age line na boso it as if some nkofo bi nim numbers ni tie ya no mafrɛ me twro me kan dia to ho ma no atwro dia to ho nti emre ne be so no afiase afrɛ 055 565 7278 and 055 156 3916 we need numbers obefa emra me bie phone lines no akire di ama na ode wano abeto enkomo no emu bi but ma me fa won call Golden Stone Logistics Company Limited aso yesisi amra
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Golden Stone Logistics Company Limited a company bi a wose tawaso ne tie yie isane se bi a nye nne na woniema na ye ready bi a dachi woniema bi be ready o ba bi a be peso de beba Ghana ebi nso a wahye edwa ne deda ama ya ye niema na wie na kasa wo de beba bronya bebe nkofo be kokwa so nkofo be ko China nkofo be ko Thailand ebi be ko Turkey ne ebi nso de obani a kire Bangladesh say Ghana for ko Bangladesh pa for entade nkankane nkoda ntade nkofo ko ho pa na se wakọ na wakọ hyese enyem ntade ma wo na ye wie na kasa wo de beba Ghana uhia eye logistics company a onim terrain no te adwuma na se a obebọ wo niema ho ban no de aba bedu Ghana asomdwe mu e de ama wo se ye sea cargo se wo pese wo de wo niema na fa poso ana se eye air cargo a wo mu friend se no na express se na se no na bantem enu mienu na opa Golden Stone Logistics Limited say they are ready and they have been serving for the past 15 years omo pese omo the experience omo gada enso so esomo and then so oniema ba bedu port na ope super fast customs clearance bra na one Golden Stone Logistics Limited indi nkomo no mo kire kwan no mo nyi oniema ne mawo in a super fast way every airport ho. And of course, the best pricing regime boko ema obotomo. Over 15 years in no my jumano, omoma free professional consultancy and no boa businesses pa. Almost so flexible pricing policies boa ema wo kan utimi spread utimi manage sebe ya embu komu bebre. And then over phone no na wabɔ number si de agu ho na ka kire wabusuafo no ka kire wonamfofo mo ne mo ye import and export adwuma say the surest way to get your stuff and your things here in Ghana safely through Golden Stone Logistics Limited in Kwa. You want to call them today on 0502 609 222 0502 609 222. Alternatively, wait my friend number 020 812 6777 020 812 6777. Golden Stone Logistics Company Limited. Almost say they are delivering growth and securing trust.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Mami mbusa ewie wakoto bibi aje polythene bag, waje rubber bag ana me no kase kura bi kura. Ebi kura shop a wagina mu a woto ade kura no wasungusu a wutie. Ene wakoto aduane e de agu rubber mu de abafie ana. Ene lunch a wokotoye. Aduane no wodi gu he. Wodi di wo ho a wo son problem bi ani ho. Nanso obi a okokoto de baaye no. Ekwan me no de aduane ne baaye. Wode wo chansen na kotoye na de baaye. Ana wo de nsapan na koye na tie aduane ne gu rubber mu de baaye. Ene wakodwom akodi dwa na wokodwom no enema okotoye no ekwan be na afa so de baaye. Mami ukọ wode wo bag koye a wode beje niam na ana nso de nsapan de kodwom ena ukoto rubber bag ena chese ne eton ma wo nyina da eno nso ye de ahye rubber mu ma ena wode abafie
Happy FM.
se waye we mu nyina bidia ene na ma me bola pa na de abafie edwa wukodi ya wanfa wo basket anko wanfa wo bag anko wode rubber nko na abafie ene wakodi dwa asanso atobola e de abafie wo a ene lunch okoto wache okoto gobe okoto bayira yache okoto morning stew a yedi gu rubber mu de ma wo a wo de ba office wo de ba afie bedi ye wo de bola ene aduane nyina na ba afie adenti na mekasa bacho wo de ba afie no ede na ayeye se aduane no hwegu chansen mu rubber na eka ho no se wanwe wani rubber na nka ho meboa rubber na wen eda bola mu obi ho kra de no mpo sabi mpraduasa wanhuru nyansa mpo amfa rubber na nto bola mu owie no to twene ye mframa maso de kɔ another street mframa besa maso de akoto gata bi mu nsuo beto ama abakɔ akɔlɔke baabi. This is what we are doing to ourselves because we are addicted to single-use plastic. When you single-use plastic, aye krum. Papa Collins, chirawomo. When you single-use plastic, aye krum. Kroma ya basa. Yangata simu nyina ya tantan time. Oko yem beaches a basa. He bra Facebook nebe he. Ghana Beach. Ase ye kreti another sea of plastics. Edi aka epo no ho. This is Ghana Beach, Shatter Beach nie. Ohwe nsuo nani a epo nani ni nyina ade black a ohu nyina nye nam eye rubber nko a. Sa rubber si a wohunu ewo Facebook live yi ewo ponano yi. Menu mienu ene yusu ye. Menu mienu ene koto okoko ene digu rubber ni mu ma yen wo Madina. Enso nsuo ene mframa atwe rubber na de aba beach ho amene eku enam ewo epuni mu. Ghana Beach. Single-use plastic, polythene bags. Polythene bags no tuntum na ewo mu ni de champion ata. Eno na nkofo pepa. Bribia wo betokoto pane kura wo beka se fanshe rubber mu ma no. No afre waboni din take away rubber. Take away rubber. Just say I adwin say take away. Ye pe bibia fofo bibia convenient. Ewie me ba betu fo say realign your mind. Mampedin say ye reset your mind no. Sa esu ene e ban no. Ye hwe na ye ntwe ho mfiri mu. Say bebia ye tie ehu hia ye nde a ene na ne ye wo ho nso so e wo say ehu hia ye. Ena me ne wo kasai. Rubber, single-use plastic, aji bebia. Yentimi nkoso saa. Mampedin de sanitation day asamba. But ye ko clinic gata sidimu. Na ye bekwa koto toothpick.
Happy FM.
Yɛbɛkɔ akɔtɔ toothpaste. Yɛbɛkɔ akɔtɔ a bar of soap. Yɛakɔ akɔtɔ a tin of milk. Ni agye take away di abade a. Ɛne memene da bia bosom ye di kan. Bosom bia memene da di kan bia. Yɛbɛkɔ akɔyi gata mu. Nanso yɛbɛsan de rubber san kogumu biem. Because esu ne ban no attitude no ensesan ye. Joyce, show them the other videos. Esene bottles yi ene eye styrofoam ade a mo frɛ ne take away packs yi ne aye krom hwɛ we ye be den na nsuo abɛsene akɔ bra Facebook bɛhwɛ eniema a wohunu yi nyina sa video yi a wo hwɛ yi eniema egu gata yi mu nyina eye single use. Look at it. Bola o ena enipa eyusu ne saa no ne ewa ha bi a wohu bi enipa dasani na eyusu oto nsuo no nom ye wato rubber na twene
Happy FM.
oto bottled water onum nsuo di wie ye bottle no ena dagata imu yi oto ice kenken na num yo onum wie ye no bottle no adane bola single use plastic ni su ene ne ban no uyusu no ba ko a esu ni mfaso biem ewie se yemie nu nyina beka yeti abomu ne adwene ho a anke be fi asese ye besesa yesu ban kakra efi na ekọ wokọ akoto aduane a efie nko na wo free kọ a office nko na wo free kọ a o shop nko na wo free ekọ akoto aduane na ma me mesrew discipline wo ho ne fa chance kokoto aduane no enkwaje rubber ene obi koto dokono mienu atonchi na mienu obeba no na okra polythene bags be 6 because dokono na nkasa no ya chechiri di ahye rubber mu deda hyehyehe.
Happy FM 98.9.
Nti oyi dokono na odebegu take away rubber ba akumu no achechire mienu na bom meko no de agu rubber mu di ama no achechire ebi mu kura gye separate ni achechire gye ni so another rubber mu di ama no enchena mo no nso ni de ahye rubber mu di ama no ansa na yewia ya kani nyina de agum de abom de ahye one big black polythene bag mu obeba fie no na wahunu nyansa yi dokono ne de agu chansi mu rubber baller na wahwie meko no de agu plate mu rubber baller na wahwie gye no de agu plate mu another rubber baller na wayi nchena mo no de two plate mu na waye baller owi a wamoa ni nyina no akoto atwene nti se wodi misi ye de chansi de didi a ade no wahunu nyansa mfa chansi ankoto aduane no na wakɔgye baller de abefie usuma kwada na ama ne chansi momma na momma wo muto kokwa no pako school a wo mu eto koko no hyehyehe ne de agu rubber yi mu de ama wo mu na nkwada ne wusumu wo mu ko school no na wo maka no na wo mu fisa yade nko a cancer causing chemicals a yade aye sa rubber yi enko na heat na ewo koko ni mu no etwene agu mani mu ti ma me nti wo to flask de ma wo ba na otokoko gu mu ana ye den eno kura no dignity wom ene ye mani pa didi sebe mpreduasa ye mani pa didi ti sa aboa adenti na wo se emu ni stew ye tigu rubber mu na akoda eka fra wo rubber ni mu na wote rubber na no na ofi wo osake emu ni stew why ade na wo se ni pa didi sa ene ya to ahaba nyina agu yemfa pepa nya hwe biribia koye rubber ena rubber yusu edi enya ewie mesre pe reusable bag fato ka ni mu na wo hye biribia beto a wo se ma me da bi mi wo me bag wa ha fato mu ma me ebetimi kura ye plastic bag ye bi nanso won to ntwene bibia beto bia no wonje rubber foforo wo de one plastic bag and agini nyina until say bia bag ne betete. It is another way who reduce your use of single use plastic. Ebe ya nka to bowl ewo ehye wo office ho to bowl show draw ni mu ewo office maame wo shop wo uni chense adididi mu nti da bia didi rubber mu etan uwi a wasa ye fia ka ho uni plate a udidim na wo shop ene kodwom ne koto plate ne koto bowl ne koto watere ne fesi wo nchen wo shop na se a time so na pa aduane adia wadidi ti se nipa wode chense akoto aduane no aba bedidi no wamfa ball aba yenkodwom enkodidwa na momo no se ne ne maame no ye no no yekodwom en na maame fa basket ko fa napkin ka ho enje rubber wokwa wo se maame fa ayi tomatoes no fa cement paper chichire maame okwa wo se salmon no fa newspaper chichire maame jene no emfa rubber nchichire fa newspaper chichire maame jene kura de otimi kura gidi gu niamanim yaba menem da na omo kodwomu a omo to niam a emu odu no first edigu ase na atosode ni nyina emre no ne de agu soro ye wie a ne de napkin akata so won fa bola ba kokura mafie si ebetimi aya na meboa ene yenye ne sa na yen save environment no yenye ne sa na yen say no to single use plastic EpaHoaDaben dwumadi nie we ye me passion me nyanyanka won so enye wo passion na yen ka passion ni mbomu na yen pagya man no konanim na oman no emu ente we ye me futusem a me de brewo me de nkranhyesem so ba
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Emrena sonse de unkranhyesem ebrewo bra Facebook na yemfa sem ne nto ho na yenyina yemfa nhye hu nkran fa nwenwene ye ho ewie nkranhyesem a mede brewo eyetiawa ose if you can't handle stress you can't handle success. But what tiasem ye simple but one hwe a obesi ni tiase. Or see, if you can't handle stress, you can't handle success. But your only adwene. O only adwene say untimi handle stress and forget about success. Yeah, a nipa will live under the illusion. Ye dada ye ho say obi a wadi yie no. Oni stress bia on abrabom ehiafo thinking no omo ni bie o madwene ne se ne owo bi no dadwene bia na no so konana bia na no so pressure bia na no so na eya ehiafo na tai susu se obonkoa na pressure da wo mo so nti da bia hotman na so ehye na nokura wo mu ne se stress eya de bia eka nipa brabo ho stress eya de bia eka nipa brabo ho in fact untimi entity nipa entemu any stress the very essence of this life abrabo na yebo nankasa ye stressful enunti minhunu da se ya wo akoda bi wo wiase mu ha ba bia ya wo ne chim na wo piefri ni maame yem na wo sere no oba akoda bia ya ba wo no wo wiase mu ha bia wo pia wo de wo di su na eba this earthly plane are full of stress. Uwo hiemua, we are stressed. Ne kranso wo mu ni se wodi yensua. Oh, stress. Stress is part of life. Into the secret, yade dealing with stress, your management. Stress, your managing no. Adie bia nso your manage bia no, we handle it. If you can handle it, you can manage it. Now I say untimi manage stress, untimi handle stress, untimi take stress dia. Enya na sa success mpaebo na wo bɔ no sika kɛseɛ na wo bɔ ho mpae no ka kɛseɛ na wo pa atɔ no ɛne abrochire na wo pa akɔ no sɛ ɛna ehia wo wuntimi manage handle stress dia ɛne me pa atwɔ yedie na wo hwehwɛ no to wadwene mu o tom na wodi yie a wo stress to ntwae. In fact esika for stress kura no de nkyɛn hia for de because unye sika ni wie a ɛwɔ sɛ wobɔ ho ban sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a ɛnsa. Ɛwɔ sɛ wo take investment decisions a baabi a wode sika no bɛhyɛ no bebree bɛfiri hɔ asa aba sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wondi hia biem. Osikani stress ano ɔhye kyɛn hiani. Ba hiani feel sɛ ɔyɛ hiani nti ɔno nkoa na ɔyɛ stressed. Mame, minim ne ofam o. Bra minim ne ofam. But ne ofam bia ka hunu said na wudi ye a obenya ×2 of ne ofam. Ti we ne ye preparation. We ne etetew, we no etofrim stress na ofam ene no. E kabrabɔ no ho, you must find a way to handle it. Enku ho because of stress. Enjaye dwuma no because you are stressed. Men gua wade ni because of stress. Because awade ni gua na ukofra obi fofra. Sa wade na egu no enye the end of stress. Ubekwa koto another stress mu e kabrabo no ho, learn to handle it. You have a nagging boss into usu ugya no. Now the next boss no nim ni okwa kwehia no. Find a way to handle it. Find a way around it. Find a way to manage it. Because I want to handle a difficult boss. I tell you, a da uba be your boss no. Stress ube femuno, you cannot handle the position. One pressure now boss no de to no. It should tell you or no level of stress our fem. And this when ni edi wo boss no post nechi, upe promotion do boss no wa. And yeah, stress na wo femu on aseno. Enjoy it, manage it, handle it, and find a way to toughen yourself with that stress. Because say o boss no post ni be ye wo de a ho na be hu say sa na ne na wo famu no neda fam. There is a bigger boss ahead of you no stress a wode ba be to so no e chen na boss de ma o. It is a success na wo hwe o wiase de a ene na learn to handle stress, because success is not the panacea to stress. EpaHoaDaben dwumadi Sounds na bidin Bismark Brown.
When you say first na ye binumu ye shut down politics. You see politics for no manyo made ntomunye. But na mumu binumu so nti enyina ye ni agi say ye beboa ma oman na akosro. Na ebo 1 o'clock pe na wa ye lawyer ma oman na lawyer for enyina pon akofia koda. Nyamishra.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Remember Facebook na obeseji sinibi audi abano menkenkan emfa emma. As you join me live on Facebook, oba na obo modern amamate wonka na enkobo no so a edapono so no ode wano atomu bi. If you want to comment on a motivational message, you are free to do so. And of course, enkobo no so gupuno so no so betima kire wadwene was issue see enyinada ehon. Starboy, I see you live on Facebook. You are watching our show. Paul Amenosoji, good afternoon to you, my brother. Komensa Pillar 2, Unswaduha, Mehunu de Dada, Seth Antobam, aka Breastfeeding. Bro, I see you as well. Na Kobensa Pillar 2 de ne di aba mienu. Seth Opokutham and so I join in live on Facebook. Now Seth Opokutham says, Bibi, good afternoon. I am watching you live from Suhum. My doctor told me that eating hot food from plastic bags or rubber is like smoking one packet of cigarette every day.
Happy
It is very
FM
bad.
98.9.
No. O say ni doctor ka kire ni say odi aduane a ehye emu ewo rubber mu a. It is said de wabɔ jot one pack ano a watwe ni nyina. Yade nko a cancer causing chemicals nko a na yade aye sa plastics petrochemicals na yade aye. Komensa Pillar 2 enso de nani a kire abronya DC asem no so. Nim say yes we have a focus on it this afternoon. Or say, hey, NDC Black Maria pa aden abronye wakum nipa na. Anyway, regards to Honorable Bright Esilfi Kumi, next NPP National Vice NPP National First National Vice Chair, and Honorable Naomi Owusu, next NPP Greater Accra Regional Women's Organizer. Hopeful, I hear you. Seth Antobam said, good afternoon, Bibi. Ghana is for NDC and NPP never again. Abronye DC needs to be reminded.
FM 98.9.
Okay, you want to say to be remanded. Okay, you wrote remind. To be remanded for 4 years. He will know how to talk to our gurus. Seth, N2 Winti na kanesao. N2 Winti sana bekano. Enough from sir. Why? Paul Amenosoji or saying this is the future of for Ghanaians. NPP never again. Starboy says watching the show live and clear ewo aha for Mim Airport. Each year a Mim phone yinada and area. Also bet me about Facebook na wabeka eye busuaku no ho. Actually so maybe kind of WhatsApp messages ni bi so e the amount. Yebekwa homa no so akodi enkomo ahodo. Send me di kankan no. Honorable Adainimo will be joining us on the phone lines. We'll talk to Benjamin Insia, who is an energy policy analyst, who will join us. Na yasan so ediani
Happy FM 98.9.
CDD for so akache na enkomo wo ho no so ye de ni nyina da ede abrewo na emrena so de a yenkwa homa no so na yemfa yenkomo a edikan enhyehyɛ so ɛwɔ adwumadie no so na yɛkɔde na yɛne Benjamin Insia ɛkɔkasa na yɛbusa sɛ ne atitie yɛade a PRC fo ampampa wɔ mo bɛyɛ ana because nanu ya ɛne ɛtoto electricity tariffs mu. I think it was increased by 4% or so. I stand to be corrected. And then we're told say VRA also requested 59% tariff increment to cover our power generation cost. ECG also pay over 200% increment. Ghana Water Fund also pay increment. Na ye koya na ye bae. Benjamin Insia ewa homano so eba energy policy analysis one the team
98.9.
Omo eti and semina sepa. Ben, mamimko na mene nkasa. Ben, good afternoon. Na Patrick ewie boko de
na media chemia una mi hu wache
me hu wache pa, but I've been following you. When you say you've been busy lately, Repemuno will definitely meet in the studio.
Okay.
Now, near Benny, VRA 4 per 59%, ECG 4 per over 200% increment. From where you sit, and then this request be when you ebe.
The other request about this Abibiano utility companies now say or more inefficiencies. So Mundio Mudumai and Tino Abibiamo Pesica, this are mobile Ghana for the discount. No money said, I bind the artist will be also a bay almost someone. Almost no more. I really huge expectations. Normally, at the two knowing well that the government of the day, because also no basically, they didn't need money and support some of these cooked figures, i.e., increasing electricity tariffs. I say food because, first of all, make sure ECG, Omo proposal, 225%. 225%, there are two things they mentioned. One is exchange rate. Obviously, exchange rate, from 2022 to 2024, the exchange rate is 74%. Forgetting that the base year, you cannot use 2022 January to make your argument because 2022 January argument now make here. And now, the major tariff review you're passing in September 2022. So even if you're going to use a reference month, and as a reference, and a base month, you can use October, and as September 2022. Now they make you argument. Okay, September 2022, and December 2024, and they were wise. They could have even used August 2025, but because of some making Omuke, they cooked and used 2024. 2024, okay, the difference between September of 2022 and 2024 now, it depreciating by 44%, and we are using 2 periods. It depreciated by 44%, and 74. ECG4 coming. That is one. Now two, we have ECG4. Almost in terms of system losses, almost catch and say 2022, now a 28%. Then in 2024, about 27.05, and so again, 2022, now a 30%, in excess of 30%. And at 2023, above to 26.7%. 2024 is a record 27%, which means a cost and na eba. Would the two periods no compare? Yes, 30 to 27 above, but above in 2023 and 2024 it's a figure in new cost, which means system losses are on the increase, and these are huge monies we are losing on the operations of ECU. What's your argument? The frivolous procurement they are making, the underreporting they are making, the non-payment of tax on certain supply, the over-procurement of meters, ECG and Kanwashi, and all by 225, knowing well that URC will always sing their songs for them and endorse some of these inefficiencies, mismanagement, lack of leadership at some of these state institutions. But yet, you see, the whole economy is connected to power. The engine of our growth, in terms of industrial growth and alleviating poverty, is power. And in other jurisdictions, they are forcing to reduce the cost and the prices of power, so that this will alleviate a lot of their people from poverty, energy poverty, as well as expand the industry, especially the manufacturing sector, because power is critical to industrial growth. Before you are buying, not only how these pricing of electricity, affecting socio-economic variables, affecting industrial output, affecting poverty, affecting unemployment. Now, these utility companies are mismanaging redundant employment, duplication of employment, increasing administrative expenditure. Now, it's going to put in here. But at the end of the day, you are going to collapse your industries. At the end of the day, you are going to push a lot of Ghanaians into poverty.
Especially when you are dealing with a buyer 24-hour economy, a flagship, and obviously 24-hour economy, would hinge strongly on availability of power and its affordability. Say, in the manhode ne wo na ne bo nso so esu obi abotomu a wobetimi ato. But you shared some interesting statistics with my listeners and I find quite worrying. What should I say? ECG figures omudijina so pesa tariff increment in cooked figures, and what church money into it is. Is it the case say PURC enim sanye meyana?
You see, that we are the 5-3, which established PURC. here amendments.
Okay.
I think many times, I say it on
Exactly.
your station.
Yeah.
The moment I would say a regulator because share a banyak directly under the president, only to me be able to serve the government and to serve the president. And the fastest way to mobilize resources for some of these inefficiencies and mismanagement, power, and the power of petroleum. Taxes are petroleum. The petroleum and power. In the third quarter of 2025, we're expecting something in the government used PRC to increase in Namkania by 4.25. The justification is that adding a new quota fuel. Another justification is adding a big reserve margin, 8%. But within the power system, there are certain times the reserve margin is 18%. But over the same way, the fuel cost 27% of somebody quota fuel. Or what say you cost to crack fuel, need more 27%. Because always they use these utility companies to mobilize a lot of revenue for mismanaged purposes, ineffective purposes, inefficient purposes. And see, RCDA, they are amending and very independent. I'm feeling free under the presidency. The presidency will have its way. And see, next, ECG for some petrol around 25%. Let goes up to 177 or 171%. VRA aircraft 59%. Now, if we do allow this percentage increase from these various power sector service providers, and I think utility providers who are, imagine the impact on Yen Momuti stream. Imagine it because NETCO was stream.
Yeah.
171%. The annual income, average income of Obio stream, Savannah region, Obio Northern region, 2,000 Ghana cedis. After moving in, I saw 2,000 Ghana cedis. None, mostly within the lifeline, 8 years around 69 pesos per kilowatt hour. Also, pay 177 NETCO, on power distribution charges, service charge. VRA, our generative power, also no pay 59. Can you say the 59 above 170, 71 and 171 more? It's 200%. It means that you are pushing. And that is why I think that we need to discuss thoroughly the impact on some of these things on our households and our industry. It's a poor household. But we can discuss it. The focus of PRC is that, and I've said it on your platform, it's also a skilled entity. This year, research, the gentleman they just killed the responsible. Open in Amkania. Open say Gina to agree with them. I was saying the boy Eddie. Annie, Dabi. Open say in Amkania no Edina to agree with them. The boy Annie Dabi. These are skilled questions. Because we can have available power, we can have stable power, and still affordable power. Right? For me, I'm buying a better from the far, fine, and so far. They should know that any of these increments they are going to do, which historically has shown that anytime there's an increment in tariff, it leads to a huge system loss. Anytime there are increments in tariff, it leads to overblowing of budget. Anytime there are increments of tariff, it leads to overprocurement of unnecessary goods here for these utility companies. The Sana by the fund system over there. Going to the moment, but the industry. The industry is going to fail, unemployment is going to increase, and also the poverty is going to add. And lastly, I think that your Chrome Hanomano, I was saying, guys, say, your state owned entities in the power sector, and running monopoly. We need to stop because on one hand, say this is your monopoly, on the competitor here, and because of that, abbreviate the inefficiency of the imagine we allow participation in the distribution of power locally. Nka ne ye ne saa. Ne a minute way. Bibi. Aban na wa ka tere guta sɛ ɔnte yɛ fɛ ne sɛn so.
Ɔmo nneɛma so.
Ɔmo nneɛma so. Aban yɛ mu aka tere DSTV ɔne ne ko. Sɛ sini no agyina yie nti ɔnte so. Aban yɛ mu aka tere telcos. Sɛ ɔmo nte ɔmo adan ti na aban na mu sɛ ɔmo to enyinam kanya.
Interesting one there. And I like that question you just posed because we were kind of a question of principle. Say your man with the other way the any amount. But I've been paying attention to figures here, utility companies churning out. VRA pay a raise in their tariff from the current 45 pesos per kilowatt hour to 71 pesos per kilowatt hour. Where ECG proposing 55.76 pesos per kilowatt hour. The Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NETCO, Mudin quite a while ago, and so per 92.73 pesos per kilowatt hour. Now there is mention of a third one, a Enclave Power Company Limited. One more per 147 pesos per kilowatt hour. I'm not sure. Enclave Power Company Limited, the minimum, Mudin and familiar, sir. Who are they? What do they do? And now, my question is, my substantive question is, who compare per kilowatt hour your to electricity or Ghana ha with our neighbors West Africa ha? Ghana, you be saying.
Okay, so we have the energy sector recovery program report I launched, I think, around 2021 or so.
Yeah.
Last year's report. Reports in my that Ghana has one of the most expensive tariffs. And that time, we pay a tariff based on the dollar rate of. It said, you know, a depreciating more. In terms of dollar equivalent, but in terms of purchasing power parity, no all the other sources. You see, okay, that report now. Now in Ghana, the minimum Kenya born is 19 cents per kilowatt hour.
Okay.
Now your neighbor, Ivory Coast, 15 cents per kilowatt hour. Ivory Coast is one of the countries with all stable power, or the power is stable, or near doing something the agency. But not the Kenya boy. We in South Africa may have their own issues, but then South Africa at the end around 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Yet we are no more of the northern part of Africa. Arabs no more the end around 8 cents per kilowatt hour.
Okay.
So if we competitors within the so-called AFTA or whatever they call it, we competitors within the sub-region, who they boy there. Most of the companies even move from here to Cote d'Ivoire to go and set up that being in Ghana. So, it has a lot of impact in any aspect of our economy. But the politicians hope is that the Nipano craft one or say near your money saying, yet you are one of review. Many people credit card with one of my procurement investigation or whatever. And you stated a lot of previous procurement, mismanagement, a lot of things. So why don't you focus on restructuring the corporate governance nature of this institution and make them very profit oriented? That should be the focus of government. And that should be the focus of PRC as a regulator. Because we are a regulator now in that almost every company in the industry makes certain losses or making losses. Besides, I didn't know making losses. Is it just because the NTR cost reflective tariff? And that even argument I don't subscribe to is the NTR cost reflective. Because we had the last quarter of the year. The NTR even at the time when the city was doing well, is because almost not a couple where was in 2024.
Yeah.
So here at the 402 million Ghana cedis at the car, the tariff from API. So it tells you that even ideas in the sector don't mean it. So if you are paying a year, how ECG, Baku cried yesterday was Galaxy now. One detailed description of the problem about it. And the interconnected transmission system, no, Galamsey for A and Kuchi, and illegal mining Jama or Boka without giving us detailed description of what is until the young could get that go. You get that go with what they use it for. They increase the administrative expenditure, they don't even increase the operations, they increase employment, almost one political party in private. They increase a lot of mismanagement issues. Now, say your miners, say, we should find a way to liberalize the sector. We need model systems, and a bit creative, a liberalized sector. I'm a private person, and a private institution, not very, very competitive. I think it's going to help us because in the petroleum sector, when we partially deregulate, next above.
Hello?
Happy FM 98.9.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, Mia.
What do you mean, Kyle?
Yeah, but don't
Okay, I lost you briefly. But so let me summarize the two proposals now. In summary, your two proposals are say one, PURC Nankasa Act and establishing no I was say sacred na ye political hands no ifrim so sebe yo metime di omo ho na omaye an objective job. And your next proposal ne say yen deregulate the sector, yen liberalize energy supply sector no na players ahodo omrem na competition and so embremu. Very interesting proposals you brought there. But I mean, with this new, I don't know if it is even new, EPCLE, the Enclave Power Company Limited, yenim Gridco, yenim VRA, and yenim ECG, and yenim Netco. Which one is the Enclave Power Company Limited? In fact, Omo requested the highest tariff, which is 147 pesos per kilowatt hour.
And that is even very problematic because enclave SFO, the free zone area, mostly distributed by ECG.
Ben, Ola ini breaky, Sansi Subi Mami. Hello, Ben.
Enclave, no. Hello.
Yeah, this is better.
Enclave, no, also a deliver service.
Okay.
Like ECG. But no, the free zones area.
Okay.
Mostly no, or the catchment area, Tema. And the surprising thing is that only the end users no do companies, manufacturing companies.
Yeah.
This or no price are higher to which they say it is likely going to affect
prices.
Because what we call the PPI, which is producer price inflation, at the end of saying it's likely going to increase. When it increases, cost of goods on the market may increase. And the Basa and they lead to a lot of importation into the country. Today, as we speak, the Chinese are taking over our retail business. Or the cheap products, they flow mukrumba, and Baha na bear for by a producer, because people don't take critical decisions with respect to power. They just think that power is an avenue to mobilize resources without looking at how they can make it very affordable. A bit me, I expand the group, I create jobs, I'm teaming unemployed youth.
Okay, so Enclave almost provided power companies some are registered under free zones.
Yes.
But even almost the no so prices are costro. But the general ECG VRA one so our price implication. Some the electricity and a year ice kinky. Na say yatuswa. Definitely I'm here. Me tinker with me prices kakra. Some the electricity na yam fufu. Amount for now and they are too swa. I may want to vary my service charge and so kakra. So make sure say even beyond the enclave for there is a general implication for even prices of goods if PURC approves what VRA and ECG are asking for. But Ben, what bought ECG cheaper? Is VRA justified to request a 59% hike in tariff?
None of the companies. What I say, can say ECG ye closer associate because on the bank can say. But whether VRA, whether Gridco, none of the companies deserves any hikes. We should make sure that we restructure our governance system so that they can improve our management activities. They can be very efficient. They can be very effective. Whether they need to adopt certain technology, AI or tracking, whether they need to adopt that, they must adopt that. Whether they need counterpart funding, because these organizations are limited by liability. They are limited liability organizations. They are not organizations that are buying Sika and not a buying company. Yes, they are buying company, but you see, you need to come also a limited liability company, right? Only Greek coding come a limited liability company. Only VR didn't come a limited liability company. So if you are a limited liability company, then means that you can have access to finance to improve your system and then modernize your system. And then at the end of the day, you're able to sell a lot and get money out of it. You don't always have to come to Ghanaians. So you increase the tariff amount. You increase the tariff amount, benefit when when you look at the energy statistics, meaning ECG system loss is a year kind. At a point in time in Ghana, it was 24%, but in next, and I'm 27%. It even went to 30 something percent. So you can't get the man for so many. Then say, oh, Hagan and Nina Mana anymore. Then say, oh, collapse the industries. And that is where the Biameka said the energy ministry needs a kind of philosophy in terms of how we even price electricity locally. I was saying, I didn't be tied to the electricity now, your price. You do that simulation before you even come to say they will be increasing. Before you even think of increasing. And as we increase it now, because of that simulation, we increases in the model, no, decline, industrial decline, I could say, a lot of people are poor. So young fan couldn't say, we don't do it, people just argue and then come and tell us, oh, you're increasing, you say, because you're drinking or more bread, no. Our musica etometer, I say, you are deploying over 1 million meters. Oh, Kruma. 1 million meters, you are deploying. Almost 55% of the meters are not working. And your papa, you pursue a tuning in our sign. Divi, me know the cost is our contract. No.
Debut.
And it's not regulators and penalizing these companies. They will not penalize because regulators and the company in our presidency are already penalizing. And that is why I think that 538 needs to be amended. It was amended. They are very independent, drawing its powers from various stakeholders in the country, not only the presidency. You bet my charismatic leaders, you bet my Muslim Association Mission, CSOs, Yandro Bibi and Nabet now. On my presentation, no, because you never hear that. It should say be affected now. If the catch say no, Munko say we are some other giska. So one year, you first can
Now,
that is how we develop a country.
As you talk about ECG inefficiencies, leakages, what system, system losses, my mind just went back to January 2025 on the sidelines of the inauguration of His Excellency the President and someone Energy Minister Ekaye, which led to a national uproar. Say containers bi ni ade ba ma ECG kura no enema na ebia yira containers ayira ECG aboka kofa enema ba ama enema na kodi nkofo nsem. I'm not sure reforms are minister no introduce policy wise to deal with such inefficiencies, but you are the guys in the sector with the money that for more monitor sector no. Since minister be can say ECG transformers ayira containers ayira HRC akotresi be dodo na hu ni nyina port clearly indicators say baby nyunu kese power ECG mu. Have you seen any policy reform or reforms Dr. John Jinapo introduced you to make ECG efficient in any way, Anna?
Dabi.
That is quite disappointing.
I know now can buy Dabi. I've not seen anything like that.
Inti senya na ECG nyunu sa bibia nsi.
Continuously, sir, until the BIB document video who
EpaHoaDaben.
Ben, you found community Hana Mina was here. Why?
All right.
Benjamin Insia ena ote nenkano oye energy analyst and an expert and oye ubia ejumanote ase oye executive director Emma Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy etwanitia eka semse. What reactions to this very conversation abetwemu a obetimi e de aba Facebook live na watchora de ato ho na makan e de amount. Alternatively so betimi e de afa WhatsApp so de abreme na makan kan de amount on 059 405 1145. Meba be kind of messages in ABA, but we have more conversations to bring your way, and you want to stay here because en komono doso ebedi ni nyinada CDD say yen probi NPP flag bearer hopefuls ya womo etimi akotua 4 million Ghana cedis as development fee. CDD ebebusa say eni na esi obi sika bi ayira anase yewo evidence bi say bia sika ne oman sika na womode ye. Why must there be a probe into this 4 million Ghana cedis party ne GDF free omon peso 2 franc ho? Well, the other question too is indeed, can we continue like this to make our politics so expensive? Now, a hand fana amanyofo no kofesi kanidi fee, and we'll get into all of this. Piaga, or say Ghana is not safe under this Mahama government. Foster Gameli Kata, or say he's watching us live. Ewa Asesewa Samson Deka, or say Bibi, I don't understand why people are attributing this Abronya issue to the NDC. This has to do with the IGP and Abronya. It's between Ghana police and Abronya. I hear you. It appears now enti yababa to electricity monte politics na ne hiamo. Abronya ne hiamo. Yes, ebe to electricity mu. ECG EpaHoaDaben over 200% increment. VRA Epa 59% increment. Na enti ebetena hwa tu SSK. Awo mreko a yen nyina yenim ni pefe se ECG esiwe enwunu inefficiencies bebre ECG na nkasa boka pa da bia nso aban ba ye hose omagi sika ne fa nkotuatua saa inefficiencies na ben na ban be ma ECG asete up na saa inefficiencies yesi saa tokuro no na me ne umienu yen koso enye the bearers of this hefty blow of sika yadema yese yentuatua ewe obetimi aba Facebook na what do I know beton komono emu ebi. I'm expecting Ghanaians to react to this very matter and share their thoughts and opinions. Sani say we know eka obiada na anu ayeto electricity tariffs mu me meter no you send both credits so ntumrika biem eche no say kwani utimi to 250 cedis bosome no enso na asa. Okay, and next time may increasing it to 300. The next month no 300 no bosome no enso na asa. And sometimes you ask yourself say na ade me increase me consumption bia ana sika ma allocate ya. Is it the case me nya increase me budget na ECG for so increase ya na eba ne saying. Anyway, we'll come back to this very matter and deal with it. A bread and butter issue, and as a people, we need to talk about it. But the on a political front, and NTI say Abronya DC, our Yabono regional chairman, Emma NPP, Amanyu Kono, and posted for the court, he has been remanded. Mustafa Salam, a national youth organizer, Edema, the New Patriotic Party, and he has joined me on the line. Mustafa Timenka, Happy FM Sunime Mwaha.
Me just a minute.
Na ewe hu ye de.
Nyame adom hu ye pa.
No Cressa Abronya has been denied bail and you're remanding ana.
No cre. And apparently you court circuit court 9. The judge remanded no into police custody. Say only appear on the 12th, Friday. If you can say I'm for Eddie Chamanabonye, I could share if you see.
Or a fiasi and answer police cell.
I think police cell.
Okay. Intenye fiasi.
I think it's police cell.
Okay. Now, Muko court, Kwadu ni edi ade potin. Yesi, Chema Bronya wa yedien.
Kwedu menu ena omudiabon. First one, almost say publication of false material with the intent to cause fear and panic. Second, kwedu omudiabon. A offensive conduct. So two counts are charging any. Now, in law, no, two counts in a misdemeanor.
Okay.
We share the penal code and the treatment of misdemeanor completely at variance. Meted out to Chamana Project.
Musa pe anu amatwi na do so ma kakra.
Yo, send them kukuro no. I don't know call court. We share car Black Maria kakaka police moving cell I the chairman Eshemo. We got to wakokum nipa. And I actually the police for obejuma any say MPP for ena omonyo mubedi okrom ha. And the aid you pa. And in internal party, no, I take a stand, say, you may or yet say, against the Ghana police.
What says MPP for na police for too many SC Musodia, any a bed near more pa. Obi Subaka say, Naso Majuma no more ye. If Ojitum say, sa 2 charges in your folly under misdemeanor, then Obibaka say police for your Majumana.
Your General Secretary, I signed a petition. I had your condemn IGP and the Ghana police. Say, you call Aquitiano. Aquitia organizer, Edema NDC. A issue threat on the life of the minority leader, on your national organizer. And then be on chief whip. Another pray. Ye na ye video. Chairman Azoka. Oye first and second vice chairman. Edema NDC. Senior Mutu share your third national vice chairman so on live TV. Video singing our home. Yeah, the petition. Akoma IGP. You can say up to now, NDC for no day. Obia any attempt to cross say on the modification, let alone say on the chuo. Intuition I say you won't have a police way to mamo. And then yentia say you na ye Ghana for. Now then a police for ejumadi. I say you mo abem we MPP near. And running with the power, but we end this near offer. So yes, sir, you create an atmosphere of discrimination. And boy, in the democracy, it's a whole lot of issues.
Modern petition.
Position,
General Secretary Justin Kodia at the petition, IGP. That same day now. I say Akwetia District Police Command or so, Eba Bontimbe Cass. In fact, they issued a statement to say, Asemono was reported to their police station, Akwetia, na omo ye ehuhemu. What say it doesn't suffice?
Nobody has been arrested.
Okay.
Uncrofona, Omudi Bonino. Omo Bontia, Omo Nantia, Bibia, Omope. Adentia, only NDC for Intia. That go MPP for that Kabana Yachiwomo. And you must say, and I yet as a Etiano. Because a Bible for Omejuma selectivity ebemwa. What you do is to create society. The we deɛ ɔmo yɛ special wɔn mu deɛ asɛ ɔmo nyɛ Ghanafoɔ but we are all bona fide citizens of Omanwe. Enti yɛn so si yɛn sɛ mmara no bɛyɛ adwuma and nobody is above the law. Na sɛ obia ɛnyɛ above the law it should be seen to be working. So obi kɔdi bɔne a mmara no ne bɛdi. But ada nti na NDC foɔ no ɔmo tia mmara so a ɔmo de ɔmo ho di. But sɛ NPP no yɛ bibi a yɛkye no. This calls for some serious introspection in senior yama our mind way because near econo dear kata and you're conscious of the real yes emra eye juma wa Ghana hano ebedru mpepeso bia obia en follow mra ne biom and that's the point at which the law will fail all of us. But and say we do some person and sana we are catching our heads. Every say who said na yengede. Once your opportunity, say you rate me correcting yamano. I think say you correcting yama sisia. Na yama on my way in yejuma. Say mrano ekuntia threats any bibia. It should work across board. And you say abroad nya akokasa etia IGP na yakoche no. Ana se Obama akɔ Facebook so akɔ posti picture etia IGP inti yakɔfa no ana nkrɔfoɔ nkwala akɔtena TikTok so ayɛ live inti yɛnkyi wɔn I think say we nyinaa ɛmboa ɛnkyɛ yɛ bia last 2 weeks or so ɛna NDC akwala bi always say RAF they did the RAF or so ɔkɔ Rich Hospital ɛkɔ boa nurse. You can say, Saboy, no, on them free.
Committee report in a by say, contrary to the allegations, say Abu Bia Mobin Semabuni, Bibia says.
Committee in your CID. Or by how your CID, your police, or my investigation. Yanka Agra, you do on my way, mono. Open the crown of CID, not CID, and go investigate issues.
Now,
they who look at
MPP for Muji CID.
At least they should try for us to see. So, omit me jumano. When your committee, Oma Kwasna say, even the people involved, Oma invite Oma say they shall appear before the committee. Now you JD.
So committees, the Abembia for maybe the NMA be brave, fact finding and all of that. More Abemu set committees, the investigating number of
criminal conduct.
Okay.
Obi akotwa should be so abono. A criminal. And your committee, and about so. Oma how your investigative bodies who are clothed with powers to investigate issues. It's minister and me fan the say instead of maybe accept no them CID no mashem no me committee into committee no and nasi and share the AC now committee na class anum tea no the report abet say on my investigation. Yeah, dia grow too much over my way.
Inti sanka CID na ye investigation no mo de report iba bontini anka mo beji atumu saa.
You better examine the content of the report. Any you see here no. Say addressing issues now. Why not? That's how it the system. That's how the system works. But now I attempt to say you better cover up and we a party into you better know into NCC those things what Chairman, I brought the issue to say misdemeanor. Almost say we did the IGP attempt. Yeah, public figures. Damn, you did attempt.
But say you too much say.
He says John Dramani Mahama. You didn't attempt.
But say verbal abuse.
Nana Danke Kufado. On my way, you didn't attempt. For the last 8 years, I said Okofi.
Shouldn't we pull the brakes at a point by setting examples with people?
He who seeks equity must come with clean hands.
Okay.
The beneficiaries of insults cannot turn to the end and tell us, say the enye. No, we do who fast on it. Man can say enye. On what moral grounds are they
Dabena demonstration ya mo se mo beye ebeba so for Chairman Abronye.
Yeah, the date and time, Betuja. Yeah, the date and time. And the information behind it, Betuja.
Na demonstration mususu se besa bibi.
What's that?
Demonstration no mususu se ebesa bibi ana.
Well, it is up to the police and up to the citizens of Ghana, because we are coming to awaken the consciousness of the people. Because we are say ye kebi amamu. Into ye chin my phone agin akosiso. Now ye petition no ye the back round they command the foreign embassies. Say Ghana police are grossly trampling upon the freedom and liberties of the people of Ghana under a democratic state,
Mustafa,
and a democratic government.
You've been here before. I think, sir, quite recently, the minority, a similar exercise. I think, sir, Mrana, finance minister, the media budget review, Airco Parliament, the minority chose, say, the similar petitions, call round, given to the embassies and missions, ostensibly about the way a bino perceived to be so tetia Ghana for far who are largely MPP for. Yehunu resource be a free mwaba, and this is the minority of Ghana's parliament. An attractive response be what convinces you say this time around we base SMBB?
We specifically against Ghana police. Specifically against Ghana police and the national security.
How does that make it different?
Oh, it makes a lot of difference. With the Mayendruho, let's get to the bridge. We'll cross it. With the Mayendruho,
but you being the youth organizer, what's your gauge? And I say, then of course within the rank and file of the party, sang some are working a resonate. Party members, do they feel say the party and the MPP in Pennyfoy are under attack, and I say there is some detachment? What's the grounds telling you?
On Facebook, the sentiment of MPP youth. In fact, we cry long overdue. And I'm going to give them the avenue to vent until you see it.
Well, we'll be here, we'll be watching, we'll be observing, and we'll be talking about it. Mustafa Salam, happy community for that series.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
98.9 FM EpaHoaDaben dwumadie enie. You want to stay here because enkoma hodo na na de ebrewo. Nia wote nka just a while ago Mustafa Salam oye National Youth Organizer edema the New Patriotic Party. Maka aboso kan efo ho asema kyerɛ na wie ma menko ho na beni omunkodi nkomo ba konte asemu emfa emfiri ho no mo emra na me no wo ka say there are reports say aboso kan spare parts dealers no say Nigeria for a omo market ho no must go na womo ebu Ghana emra eso yenkwa homa no so na ye Opening Techi Ado, oye Director of Communications, ma abose okan spare parts dealers, any enkomo. Mr. Techi Ado, Tim and Happy FM Sunni, we are Michao.
May I make you
Na aboso kan boko de.
Happy FM 98.9.
Ye do bo ade nyankropon ase. Edwomu ye to ade de.
nyame adum kakaka.
Na matimo niam no so.
What's the idea, so?
Me busa matete mo niam no so anase na ano na nkomo na wo mu ani.
Ebi dia ba fon kakra, ebi dia su dia ebi dia jina.
Ade no mu da so gina ho a.
Oh, I was say market na kasa na aban kasa any control market ne so.
No cre.
And na we bin show bi how bi e fa di niam na to bi ti niam so. Anemo ye kasa na ono me kasa so we dey extreme a the dollar na ba fom dia motiti niam so kakaka. Etiro omo de omo tie no matie. Omo de omo so mutie no. Omo bo no gusi gina bi gina na.
Asemo. Na association mu ye ho hwenye ye won.
Association de be tane say ye ni omo be kasa. Ba ye ti so omo.
Na Mr. Techado musi Nigeria fo ade aye dembiem.
Nigeria for the near cano, tiawa, and yes, yes, Nigeria for no. You have now member idea. Oko Equa Street and Equa Protocol. Or maybe a service state. United Kingdom, UK, Omoko Jenny, you don't know. Almost Jenny, but I'm more pounds and Jenny. That means no more protected interest. Yes, I'm now Ghana, 1994. Emrano, 2003, and a year review. Actually, 865, 3771. Yes, petty trading belongs to Daniel, citizens. So, we are man from in our part of Bemuha. Yes, so, you're wholesaling and I said, yeah, supplying, or the aspect of the market. But finance, no, over the years, no, I'm a better market you, I just shop. I just saw Alpha Ghana 4, and Odio Mudin, I register on my company name, no matter shop on a moment, and no matter somewhere there, only supplying, wholesaling, as I retailing. I dare me, son. Ghana Rajita, in the end, I say, Obi or for the Biatu. You can't comply, Obi to show more close to 300. Now, much to and no matter to Mochila, maybe be a moment.
Enti enra omutu mu enenso matum. And enkosi da be number 2.
Enda no mutu mu enenso omambi ochina na yibe bia momo. Ochina so yibe share leadership na nkasa prominence yibe chi omo ochina. Na ya kese yibe bia na sebetu. Se ni omusi a na se still ne be pa no meti dia. And yibe bia omo meti dia betu. Se omo apere se be court akọje injunction. Near the abeto.
A crime na Nigeria for no presence or aboso kan market or hamo. Sabu nyina mu didwa, obi atona de obi anya ne kakrawa. Omo hamo kwan ben so.
Se passa question.
Me patcho me din e bibi.
Oh, bibi say.
Na me adom boko.
Bibi, sa question we.
Yeah.
Na no makotu act na ma. Ma obi oye foreigner, obi di jombe mu ha. Na na clear. Yes, bojo man is 24 ya. Omo Nigeria for also omo policy no. Section 79 e making it clear sa pepepe. Say we are man from Afenia, who tin dey do go Nigeria. Clear ho.
Me jitum se eyeye mra. Omo so wo emra bi sa wo ho. Me kai se I think say World Economic Forum first one yomo Africa Abuja Mikobi na me call one radio station so ekodi nkomo se na edia e no mubusa me em say that time na gutafo so asori den say adentina ye title Nigeria fo edidwa wa hanam kire se e wo ye mra mu se adwuma bi sei no ye ma foreigners nye anom kra so ka se o ampa omo so wo mra bi saa timigitum. But this is the thing. Nigeria for ebo wura boso kan other market mu no enye ne. And enye ne nso nko na mu raise sa issues we. Who susu se ebi ababia mo de mo asem fa no. Eno na emma asem no eto ntwa. GIPC a ewo so mo de mra ne ye adwuma no. Omo wo ho. But masan wo mo ho na mo de mo ani asi Nigeria for no so. Ene openia oya bedi akire wo Environmental Protection Agency say niamo ye no enyam adwuma no eye GIPC adwuma entimoma GIPC enye na adwuma da ben na mode demonstration ko GIPC said GIPC say mo ampamo Nigeria for mfie market ayensu emie shops. Are you not misdirecting your calls?
Bibi
Mr. Techiado.
Omukasa, ebi bi say no. You bet me ide. I'm the same reply. or no a deputy. Or no limit echo. And I was what beside any yes, I will be tired. On it one day or kind of pay. Now your mouth that said the whole gun of your two bucket man, or no better than don't know with me. Oh, me a cuckoo. And yeah, yes, see, or man can some one lovely. Upon somebody say, yo, yeah, you hear data. Foreigners and I know marketing, they knew more. You take committee over the years, your tax force, you almost be the most back. This time they see your data, Casadama, CEO, say. These are the foreign nationals of marketing, only 1,000, only 500. Almost an on net association, we are very strong and vibrant. After 1 year, said you man, now we're marketing, now we are association. No, we are in your pay. Many of us we are close to 50,000. Yeah, we are good. Yeah, I can say again, we are close to 50,000. And still, young foreign nationals say, no data. No, how many foreign nationals of marketing? Yeah, better. All of them who said, who's not or now I'm best at the Amapoko. And almost kind of open, we may move back to the Poco. Yeah, purpose to say, yeah, and ground, I am successful. Or tonight, you don't miss ya. You don't share ya, you big damn almost. If you are near the data nama, Ministry of Trade and Industry, the demand is now I can say they must keep it so get money data in you. These are the people who are over marketing. Come me fast to a minimum better no. Yeah, the year Juma. And yet, way. And so, almost die as ye. Almost die as ye. Almost kind of pay because it's too near back. You should be very careful. 2 million Gutano, and you'll be the young Cotaho. I'm not careful why. Now, you're going to invest in your cost. I get it. It's an immense for that anymore. If you never did yet.
Enti afei na mo gather data hunu Nigeria for do ammonium war market o.
Over the years, you need data bia.
And they say as an association kura no mamoa mo ho.
Yeah, they buy 2 years ni association no. Executive buy 2 years ni. I think I'm sure say. Yeah, to send your money so. Ama ya share ya bo man no.
Ti mo sumo ya research on.
Oh, that research agenda dey can research no. Research dey me di mutis man yo. Ti me ka ho bi ni research o man.
Enti so far okasa about is it 300 Nigerians na is it 300 ahead?
They are more than 300 but data you could see here on one kasa the different also omo association we friend the start Nigerian National Student Association.
Okay.
That's on you tag for on the different say these are our members. But I interact with the almost many of them from omo get to omo the containers, omo the fuels, omo the way. You you now almost see so kind of the Amazonas. You are top almost so. And your proper tunnels. And Rana to send you on Monday. We deal with them. Ghana for now, almost 40 almost go after them. Yeah,
Sir, by next week or next month. Moti say, me say by next week or next month. Moti say Ghana for Edi Jawa Nigeria. Almost ye wo mu say ya. E dey nambeka.
Question na bisa no bibi e rock question na bisa me no.
Adentia.
Endra many state bi kasa wa Lagos. Endra state wo Lagos e FM.
Okay.
So almost ya say we are not starting them but we need their information and data. A law no I quote the law now me say this is our law sir. A boy you go back. You understood what I said yesterday. There's no money problem. It is a okay say Ghana for Nigeria no. The DB your man. Not just clearly no I say more pretendity. Mo yes and mo wa adwuma na ye no. And I want to say, so kind. Yanko, the very peaceful, and that's it's them. Won't say, but say, baby, I'm almost. Simple, baby. Simple.
Simple, but a bit more can say, bet me the retaliation about.
Let's say, yeah, demand a year to my 42 hour policy act, you know.
Yeah.
885, that's 27-1, and making it clear. We are young phones of her. Yes, say 3 days or say 3 days. Yeah, no much I meet you, they are so happy. I almost there, see, I say, or 7 say, you not trying to get your son.
Okay. And a data no so saka mo de bema ministry no na GIPC for so on.
GIPC no Andra mene Mr. Simon ISU no mene go say o ti be.
Okay.
Me ka say get any ready let present am.
Na chese wo mu GIPC no kura no mu need data of Nigeria for a retail job.
bisa say Ghana kasa na who accurate data Ghana ha who ni accurate data Ghana ha ya situation na say the member bia see nya information our system nim that's what we are doing I say bibi I say boy abaso say ya
mebo mabaso because say matemo asem na mo kana se kane no na kwese kane na kwese ye pam nkofo no omu free market but mo say moni omo tena se na mo ehunu omo dodo omo dini omo data ni bibia so that with data the regulators can now handle the situation. Exactly. With this clarity, Mr. Techado me bom abaso ai. Better was say ewie na bibi fufuro ni e be samba mo ho. Why? Techado eno ye director of communications Emma Abose Okan Spare Parts Dealers Association.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
I am not sure what you make of our conversations. I call MPP Akache Mustafa Salam. Ama yedi Chema Bronye enkomo. Yahwe proposed tariff increment utility companies and also ebusa yedi enkomo. Se PURC ejitumudia na yentena sinyenka hunu se enche yebesen tuya more for electricity. Ana Abose Okan so nkomo yakwakoti de free ho ede aba. Manuel Jesse are joining us live on Facebook. Because a good evening, Bibi. So what happened to the D levy? Bibi, I think KioNet government is at work. D levy mubeji say modu kutu energy sector levy eka. Energy sector eka eda ho. And they once the need to yakana. And which means that the burden on ECG to look for money to pay Sakano. Ye tuyafa.
Happy FM 98.9.
Tariff increment the ayedien. Mo bokad ya toho. Muntimi njeje revenue dodo for power amato free grid ko. Moto power na maboka. Esane se mo ankasa ECG for no. Mo 2 meters agumu a meters na enye adwuma yie. Inti revenue a wase ba monsemu a mode be kwakwa enu ena nkofo so ye illegal connection ena omuntua ena mu ECG fo na ankasa nso mo jeje bills ni nyina jeje sika ni nyina sika no emu kase pa no omu fentua omu ka o omu de cover administrative expenses. ECG administrative expenses eya ni operational expenses cry ya epe omunye ska pickups omunye ska V8 omunye ska Land Cruiser Prados.
Happy FM 98.9.
Baby o se sika na o magege ne kohye no enko ene yese yentua saa eka na ECG abo no ema ene ye de 1 cedi ato a liter of fuel bia so ayeto ECG asan ba PURC say ope over 200% increment e won the tariffs mu e won mrekwa yetua wo ka ma wo ka no yese enya wo badin biem ya fa wo ka ni tua de ama wo san beje over 200% tariff increment wo de kwaye de en transformers amokrae ye hunu ba bi enam. There are communities here transformers low voltage hankrofo. There are communities that every now and then can you do because transformer nye. Ghana for asamomanimu fifre ama musika ba koto transformers. Transformers no treating it say jene. Transformer timi nya tamantu edwane. Ochina ana ya we first video ni send na
Happy FM 98.9.
There is a place right behind the bo penini din a we be ka se ono no akoye sa de ni timi mo penini din. Penimpe bia osumwo MPP amanyokuo mu ne dan echi pe wo laboni mukohe ECG materials a egu ho at the mercy of the weather. Transformers, cables, insuo tobro no ewiahye no national security na anu ya ne kohunu ye nanu ya na national security for ekohunu ye ya sign sa niema we hu ama ya san beje 1 cedi free Ghana for ho ama ECG asanya akukudura kwanyina PRC for say we hear tariff increment. We hear about 240 something % increment. Because ECG na ma iska bebre wa hu.
Happy FM 98.9.
Because ECG and darling company. Ana ye boka de bia ye tua wo mo ka wo mo bo. Yet de bia so mo to tariff mu. Enti I just don't get it. Enti mi bo ECG no eye politicians si bia dwuma pa enti anka say no be rane no. And I we ma mi busa Dr. Jinapo. Oba ye dede obaye wo krom ha. Oba ma obi ayam hyehye no se containers ayira ena nkofo ti ECG ena dream keta asehye proye ena nkofo ewiewia eniama ECG aboka koto ensem bebre procurement fraud ni nsem amokeka ye. So the expectation is say saniama na mo identify na edi inefficiencies ne ba no mo be si ano kwan. By now you expect a massive overhaul of ECG anameboa. By now you expect say some shake up will be cause for ECG to indicate say ye nin so and it is not okay say ye be koso aboga na for ka na ECG ebe running at a loss near that so to one year. Former MD Norway, former board chair, a minority leader. We need to hold people accountable and people responsible. And today they be bad Georgina probably o krom hanomono. And tiano no ECG they obey inefficiencies. You don't know what people have done at ECG. You have no idea the rot. You have no idea the corruption. Bro Kesia what they can do ECG. One more no more no so. Besine. And then ECG is still asking for a tariff increment. In the midst of inefficiencies, it is not as if say ya plugging loopholes Sudan. Bra Facebook be had here. Video ni nie. Where national security for and the kohun nanu ya wala boni.
98.9.
Hwe ECG materials. Aye gu awiem gu petemu ECG materials. Hwe enye we nie pylons nie. High tension wires enye anu nie. Mubahu transformers no bo se sisi ho. When you taxpayers atua ho kawo. Nobody can tell me say where ECG for warehouse. This is not even a warehouse. We enya warehouse. Aya sase pradada ena yakosum ECG materials ne dia gu ho. Ena air pro ena nsuo bono na wi ahye no. Is this how ECG equipu ne niema na? Inti of spending millions of dollars akofa sa niema we abegu ho. Ah wudi agu nwuram na niema ne gu. Nwuram Sir, you see, you nim demonstration, you see, yet democracy, I say, and citizens. One of the ways I express it, and near my empire, demonstrations are, and near my way, no be no one Ghana for a common demonstration. Look at this, bra Facebook never, bra never when you be well, laboni heya, ne wo. Ewo penimpa bi fi achipe onya connected to it into boni din sesi o we ka say any ono no akofa ne mana ba begu ho be equipments, machines, cables, pylons aden ye di e ho abro sa ka ona ben e na da bia driver ena ka na sei da bia kankoa na da bia no akọ ne yire ho adwa ka no ene sei bomme besia da bi beba wo yire beka cho se ka no ton ne enye free.
Happy FM 98.9.
Mampedi se wontimi manage ECG ni ye a mon ton ECG. No private man would run ECG the way it is being run. Mo politicians na mote ho a mo ye hwe han ma ECG ye running it down no. Say na ya ton ECG na mumu bia kwa akota, you will not run it like this. But they are bind the no obi ayi nani. Tide bia ECG boka ni aba consumers wo ECG say omu hieska enti yantum ECG say omu hieska enti busu bibia ye beto electricity mu. Ende se ye bewu o man mu. Any illegal connection because at a point in time, a be unsustainable. You can't pay. And I make a choice. Me say, me say I'm so okay. Look, me for 300 cedis. Engu meter no so. Omu best sa meter na say na me yes I no. Me say me for 200 engu so na me hwese na meter we ko.
98.9.
Boso me na nso 200 cedis and a sign. And I'm so okay. Minya no 250 next month na me hwa de me increase me budget to 250 no that the following month no 250 no boso me na so na 250 na sa nse okay ye bedundum niema na yahwe se ebesesa niema bi a ye pia bedundum niema freezer no e freeze bibia wi a na udumu na umie ya ice ne da so wom utu betimi akwa aba beto ye no so for kakra 300 cedis still. I'm saying is it the meter or what? Makoto meters bebre abegu system the meters are not properly reading consumption intebene na usika no usaka. In fact mo meters ni bi kura ma yetua double more and so mo se mo boka still.
Happy FM.
Meters ni bi real credit no. Inti munye sika ne more in a month or so bi koto prepaid credit be twice and sana bosumi na wu. That is double money coming to you. Your meter is stealing from us. On top of it, still Musimu needs enough money. We are sending you more. Ghana for any demonstration against this thing. For once, we must demonstrate against PURC and ECG and tell them say yentua o yentua. You be fair champion policy ni bi yentua. Mo force you so be illegal connection. Ye mo pe bia mo pa mo nchie nyina kogu nsawam. Mo pa bo be chie nyina kogu nsawam say illegal connection. It is unbearable. And now kono obi ato ne niema mu e wo shop wa increase ne niema won ti ase. Electricity reno. Na mo ka say 200% na mo pe no. Se PURC grant mamo a niema ye di electricity eye wo krom ha no ne bo be gina be gina. Eno so be kwosoro.
Happy FM 98.9.
Mampani wo shebo, wo se wo ba magana fo ho atowo mu. Electricity bill hi dia yesrew. Research na ndu wa enu hobi. Na yentimi can continue to bear this. MPP na wo ho no mu nanka sa 200% request hi ba e anka etie na nado na tie akonya so ena niema mu aye den ena PURC eni ECG for so mo pe 200% increment. Oh, me kwa na anu ya we increase electricity tariffs by 4%. Na musimo pa here. Na nado na ti so a anka by na kro ne yabo. And someone come be kan kente da. Mo bia me kan che me sa by ni 1 year. Munya sa asem ne ka. Sa na mo ye e na by kro ni 3 months. Yes you. E do 6 months. Aban by kro ni 6 months. And 9 months nie, 9th month nie. Bosome nkono oba kura fa ye frank wo. Se say the oya say aban no kra ni afe eni 1 year munya botre. Ti 1 year ni twam anso meka say oh ye 4 years afe ni atwa 1 year munya botre. Ye de abotre sa na electricity bill ntimi ntu abiem. And send mo kan ya na no no. Esie nsu ye be kan ya nyonyonyo e wo momre so. Because you can't continue to take the Ghanaian for granted.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
I mean kind of Facebook messages ni bi na me kan wi me kwakọ ton ade me koba na fe my baby phone lines na ma na ana me ko phone lines no so preko. Okay, me ko phone lines no so na ye share enkomo no ase. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Pacho Dini baby Afrifi.
Baby, me dey
Sunny from Amman from Ghana to Yominia.
Maybe once a month, and a prayer. Lady Kai, I so kind for no. No more, Yano, Edigana, and Tio Marco never be home. Then some more person, I foreigners now say, foreigners no no F, and so more Ghana for no. And so much say, you told me your mom, told me more than your foot. Yes, I said,
okay.
And that's also me, energy minister. Energy minister, Oyama, there will be. Yes, Tennessee, it's done. Oyama, I don't know. Oyama, don't ask it. You want now, can't say I'm not for general. And it's all about car to one man. I don't know what to see. I'm when you did some of the Jomacano. Let the Jamusi kind of feel any I am or any kind of day. I then.
Sani nyame ka ho so me da se. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Pacho dini baby afrifi.
Baby akli kasati go come tapim.
Pacho mantidi no.
Togbi akli. Yes sir.
Togbi leke.
Mo fo ha konira.
Bere ku e mo fo. Mi da pe na ma wo.
Ya pe na ma ba.
Yo. Togbi etio.
Idi.
Togbi.
Na usu kan na correct.
Yo.
Now so it say no kind we fre onwo bodi animo no no ka staff atinim what I say na on say go to dem mo pro wo na fa wo mo aso na o jira wa ka ka abu ko ti na so on fa mo ta pa no so especially all the journey o jira mo ka what can you say fresh abu ko na o ti na so o kill but what I say
Mate wasebinia
you say no that is the way we want to yes say that o to na mo fa I say
Togbi Mr. da wase. Hello, good evening.
Honorable Bibi.
Honorable Simoniana.
Bilindi Yawuza.
O voice na ye dada me pa o.
Say me etim muno unnimuti.
Honorable Yawuza Ghana tio.
Me da say. Umfu so muchia.
Ya jobi aso.
Na nyamishira okotonka nichia ena ya.
Yeah.
Won say okoto kuria so yo bibini. So toja mupia na wa dan broni.
No dan.
Dem. Puma ka mutina enya mude. Muya ka mu Antonum da wakoto mrebo. Any station be a good president any mo ase. Uka sapa we uka wa apia bana we yes yo oda kwatu bebi a wo boregi. No tie. Uka sa che mpenfu a omonti mi wu bi da bibie ma mi bi sa sam. Ade cha Ghana politician. Yan won bi awuza, me no wan na chache. Bibi se de bi Ghana politician bi abenya tumi bia na ne ya asesa duabo ana
sana tumi tie tumi no eyi usuban pie.
Yes sir.
Nsaka tumi a usuban pa no be yi na pie.
Bibi she na me ya woza mitonyame. Impemfo a me nimu a woni min. Bibi the politicians ejinu kra sabiya mu bi enye ya braboni. Uba bibi kwaso obefen bibi. Woni na ekwa obefagia when information kwa na wo fe na wo katenu. Bibi mitonyam onfana we kiasa nkwa koze sebete nkwa kachankwa se ended fudia gwa yesi ti free akaya kesia wo sisi no bibi mi kasi ebiasa wo ka wa asemu yo bibi mi enti jo mama boni be na why say wa malifa bi appoint to a more position di jo mama ne boni awai no bibi baby no that nice guy we nice guy do Ghana
You politician be an one first no. Nice guy, abroad here. Phone that. Bibi.
But who are bringing that?
Bibi.
Yahuza. When you, Yahuza, when you, we are sarcastic, pa.
We are telling you, pretty cheap of people. Bibi won't. Share. Send on one, cannot then. Padino, Yanin Casa. Ni Casa, and your other share on my pain that the Nekuparuka. Share someone and send people to Abamu. Share 4 to my people from painful. And then a plantain who yan is too much. It means the door marching one mamra, the navy no fedodo. Nearly there are dog kissing the request. Beautiful kisses, beautiful mouth with beautiful kisses.
Yahuza made us, and you'll be kissing your canna. Hello, good evening.
Driving.
Pacho Dini, baby, I've reviewed.
I don't want to make a job from Coberio.
A Jenny Morgan at you.
Oh, happy FM, and Sakam and I'm ready. Mensa will papa, or Fidi. If I'm Jabra Champo, and I'm coming national chairman. If you can come with now, Menchia, Nanake for national organizer, and a woman, Nahaja Safia, also by woman national organizer. Good American Yana, wouldn't it be?
I just saw
that. This is in a young tongue. Yakati Atola, this is here, Mujana is where Zabatasari, and I may be a new man, and a Motola Tiziti, and a Moya, a Jumola Tizitino, a dear man or Mobile. Obata condemn the Guambinanki Airton, and I'm sorry, I'm Mokata, and Yanton.
Every bit on it, every bit on it, the dream course. Aha, dream course. So, Emma Gana crab or come at us, yes,
what is the idea? Why, Alan? As one of them that this is what I told me that I thought I just did. What just here?
Yeah.
I don't know, Ghana, a bit of Mubuni Papa Shada. Yay, do some of your tell us to be a brother, bro. Namun, Namonamo, ye, Edgar Collection. Now, one moment, Latin bed, come on, for Crano. Who are called Bibaca as evident to any, evident near no Humano. I'm talking about conform it and here to talk. A Yimo cannot, or one of you schedule bottom wedding. I know physically, I generate a Latica, not Naya. Aray, for my young one, yet my dear child at the Bayana. Bibrentia, Cananuia, Womanibri or Mufam, who gets Carado Mokoja Brabano.
Anne.
I didn't know my yata. You can't know some young Motomaku. Aray, or my ben yet more, young Fambra Yaguma, Yadu Opeta. Okana Juman, one Jumanu. I do not know that I told you. Omo Babran Yantia. Bye bye.
Medasio, hello, good evening.
Good evening, honorable baby.
Pacho Dini, baby, Afrifi.
Pacho from a bright time, because I feel Abuso Okan.
Bright from Abuse Okan, Ghana, Tiominia.
Nami Inshira Papa, my uncle Swa and Bo Ban. The name is Jumaswa, Happy FM, Moya Edeboa or Mine Ghana. And then Mammy Chia, honorable courage, Maka Fumi who our TBT. Me Pacho. ECGSI Tona, honorable baby. There be Bianca see a tone. Yes, in your quid, yes, in your see a tone now with you. And Ghana, the Ben Ayankasa bit Yamana Gia, Amana Ye. Brabus a bimu. They be a young tone, a Japadia, and Fama Amanoni for no better tonight, so no mundi as to another day. We cross a Ghana for Sutimito. Na Ghana ni na obeto na ade na Ghana ni ya jite ye toma individual.
Ense ade na e ya ban adwuma na e basa.
Enti me bisa o ECG office. Me nko order ama me hu se meter bo. Me pacho won.
If I'm into from having to observe.
Me pacho makan e ya ukọ ana wa observe ashe. Because me who bigger, me tako kolebu. I say you got to credit me who omu meter da my yes I say me who say ebi omu yusu meter. And I say omu yusu meter. Ukwa air conditioner omu yusu wo nyina no. Why the chia? Ukwa aveno so the same thing. Why the chia? Me pacho PBS eba beji ECG sika. There's a 2 years, no. Says can
And do 2 years.
And
do 2 years.
If I chose it.
And do 2 years.
And do 2 years.
Baby.
If I don't know how many years. Honorable.
PDS no less than a year. Baby 6 months be. No less than a year.
We are sure.
So PDS and check, but within a short time, no more did scapa.
It is a canal multi any ano. Accounting from Emma wine. This is the time I say and Catarachet with me manage adio. Obian should be and be manage adia. Now a binance as a uko taught idea way be a my individual. Individual now better or no ye any.
Question is
why you done for now or why you be a Jumachi or Muslim. So or quality is informal or minor. Now baby is the boca. Baby street light. Baby over to credit the yet. Street light is Juma. It is street light scanner or mood, you know. Quiet. Taleona will be on my way, my woman. Let's rest. I buy where I end this. I buy way. A yes, autism yama be bremo. Nanya say, Yajapa Dena Kitayano. This is a tone every my individual and qua and an lack of maintenance. A good share. Mimi Winchia, who fire coins you are. You wrote na road sign niso as well. Now will be the American one.
Right. American one so. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Pachodini baby Afrifi.
Yes, this is your brother Frederick from Angloga in the Volta region.
Frederick.
Yes, sir, bro.
All right, sir. Let me hear you.
Yeah, good evening to you and your cherished listeners.
Good evening, Frederick, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
You see, today, the IGP that we have today, know that there is a law. When you say something against someone, it's a crime in Ghana law. Was it not the former deputy IGP we have in this country who served under Dampari? And a whole lot of issues that NDC have to attack MPP, say all manner of things against Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, which they know they are all false. How many of those people that he was a former assistant deputy IGP, how many people that he arrested who are NDC members? That today, the only person that he knows is Abronia that he wanted to arrest and kidnap. This one is not even arrest. It's just a kidnap.
No, it is an arrest. It is an arrest.
Arrest, and then
he has been presented to court. He's been taken through the processes, and he's been denied bail. That is not kidnap.
But did you hear after yesterday where they arrested him and they take him to? The lawyers were there. Later they move him to CID headquarters. They go there. They say they will not allow them to see him.
That is not kidnap, my brother.
That is kidnap. It's amounted to kidnap.
That is not.
But we are saying that those NDC apparatchiks that are happy today, they should remember the very day MPP will come to power, the same measure we are going to triple it for them. If there will be a need to chase IGP, who will be the former IGP from this country, we will do that. So he should also bear in mind that one day, the law of karma is going to catch that the same IGP Yohonu. He should prepare for the new patriotic party. Secondly, if we wanted to talk about the ECG electricity matter, my brother, it's just expecting that NDC know they wanted to privatize or they wanted to sell ECG. The same process that they kicked against during Akufo-Addo time, they don't know how to come clear and tell Ghanaians, these are what we wanted to do. Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have labeled the legacy for them. They come today, they are sitting on it. They finish the dollar that gold purchase reserve that Bawumia left for them. They sold the dollar finish. They sold the gold finish. They had the dollar, the one that they will give to their numerous girlfriends. They give it to them. The remaining one that they say they invested in the dollar system, now the dollar is now chasing the cedi. So they don't know what to do. They wanted to use the tactics of arrest and whatever to cover their sin. But Ghanaians should open their eye critically to monitor and know the true color of the umbrella so that 2028 they can do the needful and vote for Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia to be the next president of Ghana. Thank you, my brother.
Frederick from Angloga, thank you very much. Mauna Irao. Hello, good evening.
Bawumia is coming to do what? He is coming to do what?
Queen of the airwaves.
Many of them are.
Umagaba.
Nyamia Sunjinko.
And council do my
Oh, baby, maybe Yari, one who shall make ram, Besram.
Oh, Manti.
Oh, the last week in Nina, but
said to the be a mintimum Cassana. And also, in fact, last week and this week, they almost every day may be. But say, Manto on Cana, MSABia, line of swayashin to any acquiring room, Naminim so home foul. Otto men cradi anke be a metima me to
a better cramp. Me won't tell me a better mini animal friend reduce. I mean, I never be a person, so me friend.
Oh,
Sana Jumana Koye.
Sana Koye. I bear part of you on. Maminti way.
Yo, baby, never me chami papa on Abu Dana Matemesa, and ne yen yabema I Lord in the birthday.
Okay.
Me mana odapa. Baby, yen yabema abronye. Ayechini, why was I hope say, Emra or Ghana ha juma. At times, a do ye penny for being Mokotina read to Omukasa or Mokano. Both political parties you know winning now, penny for binomo, a young Mokasa any. Such a ye won't go for you NPP, Mamma Pesame Bomudi. At times, Omutina air. I say, yes, sending now your Omude, Omutu Casa di Dio Biatem can summer, save you and him a funny panel. And see, Abronia Yana or Yana want to say, said you only them lying to meaning in the Ghana. And the mission of Muchino is that it's a right direction. A bayan Nessimo Moa, Jomu Yano Moka, Jomu Nimushina Mokano, Nesta Mokotina Radio Swa, Ubehusia Ubekasa. Politicians be out in the air, Musia Ubekasa, as some Ukanu, Ukita evidence and Sanauka. Now you see, some Mammy Baho. Where the Enya Bema, George Napo, no Minister of Affairs Ajumaneso. Nepo de Miniwa Munya, Dream Baku say, you better ECG.
Pacho, T. Me Ubianca say beton ECG.
Now, Muyani day.
Mena, me Casse. Me huni entia ECG boka debia. Na ekabia ECG bobia, ye de breye intime mu force yentua. Nenso yenye bribia mfa wo mo ebo sa aka no ECG no ho na sesei na ebekọ sa ade a ene ECG ne yenton eno na mekai me ka se ye ton ECG
okay ye to enye ye bibi unim de nti a ECG ebo karibia ejuma ye fo no omu ni mo mu juma ehwa na omu wo se busumi ebe ti omu pe bibi obetumi use light when you see 1 year na mfa light be ka embanu emprenie Omo use old meter no. Ebinum use light almost 5 years, 6 years. Yen fan light be enkoma omo. Yeah, ye use prepaid esa 1 quarter want to me use. But onu a use old one baby. Baby.
Yes dear.
And it's easy for so mu be ya omo juma here, omo sisi kromu, omo amu ye illegal connection, omo ndo so see ya. Ye to light triaka.
Enti say no you say yan kan kire mo say omo fixes our problems na mo mba be pay tariff increment bia
sa pe enti juma ye fo na omo ECG ho no mo no dodo na omo ni mo juma ti omo na esi efa ye ni si omo so na omo sori ye omo juma baby say what dey make na say
Matthias
o ba le ba no menim kofo a edro na jo omo ye illegal connection but we so ko report I say why be na mo so duty dia be ba no due ebe nu mi amo. But a car will pour man, who pour man, who run market the bra. The illegal one or muya or honor bibi. I didn't see a banner,
and some way away.
Almost a chromonomu mujuma.
Very well. Queen of the airwaves, so liberty, Yaminka Honsona or Hunya would then.
EpaHoaDaben sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Na we wo mrantie miensa wo manimu a omo represent omo political interests. They are all seated, but me dane me ho akwa ba me koba e beti asi enkomo no emu And I mean, say the Center for Democratic Development proposing an idea. Say flag bearer hopefuls of the new Patriotic Party are one more ready. Normal 4 million Ghana cedis development fee. No, improve one more. And they say Niama Winimono and say as of mine, Ibu Yeni Guso. Yemi na corruption no ebe shasiye a shasi free within the political parties. Obi sika bi ayera na se obi ehunu so obi akɔwie sika bi nti na yenkoye probe na problem be na esie. How much weight are we going to place on this call for a probe into sa flag bearer hopeful say any 4 million cedis na omo eba betua no. As a result of Safi CBNT, Penny Adai Nimo say, watching on free race in Mukra, or say a clear interest and motivation. Yabehe Benyeri na Eddie Honson Komo. The update from Benyeri is the Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak formed a committee say, Omuhe Benyeri Semonona Omo establish a roadmap for peace. Dr. Emmanuel Bombarde and our chairman of the committee. Now, or say it will take a while, but Omo heard him say in a matter of 4 weeks, the roadmap will be so clear and peace will be in sight. Question is the John Mahama administration on top of the security situation in the country? And now, many Pobuatin, a security expert, Kasae, or say the general security outlook under John Mahama so far any good. One of the first incidents is CIA or Boise. Clear intelligence failure. Homo clear intelligence failure. Proliferation of small arms. Ebu. And Boko and Agbengiri Abetoso. Is the NDC on top of the security game? Ana yabon komo yedin komo me ton ade me koba atokwa me na forcing deputy director in charge of IT NPP headquarters waji na edwa Mawuli Koku Nanegbe member of the NDC comms team waji na edwa kame kemi bia kan ho. And then we were 2 Atokwamenes in the studio. The other Atokwamena, the only citizen you know, the fashionista.
Happy FM 98.9.
The one who comes before everybody. I'm not saying he's a 1 minute man. I'm saying he comes before everybody. Citizens so Ajinedra. Gentlemen, mumpini mumini munamentonga di embre na boko de akwaba so. Didisi ubi ahun ye.
Adom, na so de mu e.
Mi nso nyame adom ho ye papa ba.
E be fan say yimi hu say min kasa o say min ma min kasa o.
Adentia.
Say be wie na ye twem abonte. See Ghana ye kasa bi mu.
Black Maria.
We are in a state of no talking. And we have all been advised say in fact you be jai kasa wo man we mu. Na ye jama party ba ko pe no ma ye o medwuma.
Ye pe one party state.
Sana tie sisi a. No sana is here.
And sesa mo man yes sir.
Da bi o sana tie o. E bia wo hu yi.
Enemi hu yi.
Ah ye fa o ntia. Etia o yanko etia dua. Ye one party state. See when you are in a country when the citizens can't even criticize, and anytime leadership see criticism as an attack, then there's a problem.
But we've been there before on the MPP. The
likes and
of
what happened? And what happened?
You were voted out.
Exactly. You see,
because more you be paying.
No, you see, it's not about the it's not about criticism.
Okay.
No. What happens?
Okay.
Obitimi sorry. Eke President Kufo say you are corrupt in your face. What I say? Yatem Didier. No be so timi gina radio so. Ewo name ewo America. E di Ghana mpinifo nyatem including president. Ahemfo mpinifo chief imam no nya de e ba ye e ma ye jae no court jae no. na obi nso kɔka obi nso kɔka men de me ni evidence why no ho nti me nkan no ye be wie ni afa nwa abonten ho na say obi nso kɔka something similar no aye serious say dia then we can't sit here and pretend that we are in a state where people have. In fact, my whole days of doing politics, I have never been afraid of speaking in politics. I'm telling you, and this is a fact. Really? You can visit my social media handles and see the last time I commented on any political issue, and you understand. And I'm not the only one.
Is it because you plan to go Bismark because the way you communicate, I don't expect Ubenya issue.
Exactly, but you see, and yes, I'm whether you go Bismark or you don't go Bismark, they come for you. And there's a lot happening.
You should have been picked up by now.
When was the last time you saw me here? Sometimes I actually decline your some of your because of some of the media freedom we are not having in this country. Yes, and then yet you see at a time came and I'm very passionate about this. Okay. People were so passionate to criticize a ruling government that even within our own party, yet me criticize your leadership, and it was fine. Our general secretary stood on a party platform and criticized another that ministers and appointees let them resign. And that is what politics is all about. And you say, you can't be that, then you state in decision, you are na rambos. You see, I'll be a parent to nefo, Obiare to nefo, Obiabus Yafo to nefo say, yes, Ghana na yesum. Until Oko can be near Baba far with Rambo, yet me boo dying, you boo them like this is not this is not it at all. We should all be afraid. We should be scared.
Mate.
We should be scared.
Naoli, are you scared?
Oh, I am very scared.
Okay.
I don't feel safe. Not under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's regime. Bibi, all Cassandra, I just went on.
Is there a period you've been scared in this country to express yourself? That.
Oh, me na means true, but Edubebino Nenye, and that was under Nana Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
And I can tell you, in fact, yesterday I saw a picture. Sometime now, President Obama about Ghana. I saw President Rawlings. I saw President Mahama. That at the time he was Vice President, Professor Mills, and all of them. And to be honest with you, this convention, I think I've made it here. Sir, until Nana Akufo-Addo be president. President Kufuor was my worst president in the Fourth Republic. But Nana Akufo-Addo rather than President Kufuor is a gentleman. His leadership far better than Nana Akufo-Addo. And I won't say it. A man for now, President Akufo-Addo nankasa ni omu eye kumipreko demonstration. Tazan is one. Saturday now, President Akufo-Addo ordered for, and this is public record, ordered for closure of radio stations or Mamuha. Tazan came out and said that Saturday now, President, I asked what President Akufo-Addo Abresono. He attempted meeting Nana Akufo-Addo. That it was a wrong move. And this one, it was because somebody went to cabinet and told Nana Akufo-Addo that the way these radio stations and TV stations are criticizing one taking action, this will remove you out of power. And so these voices of dissent, claim their wings. That Thursday at cabinet, Yama order saying close down all those radio stations. Then Tazan says, I don't know. On court. And they were fighting for liberalization of the airwaves, no? Now, no, and now Bresso, and I hear closing down radio station, no? It doesn't sit well with him.
But they were. Emranoni regulations said that was Majuma Hono.
Great.
They were not paid up.
Great. And so that was the reason happened.
Wuntumi is closed down.
But
Wuntumi Accra, Wuntumi Kumasi, Wuntumi.
So
they are all down.
Requirements, no. Same
requirements.
So they've been given amnesty. And I must say
they were given
amnesty. Say meet requirements, no. Did it happen under Nana Akufo-Addo?
Okay.
And that's the difference I'm making.
I think we are talking about two different issues.
But when I
spoke about radio stations being shut down, and then regularization, someone
want freedom of expression.
Yes, exactly.
On one angle, don't allow him.
No, I hope remember. So that is the difference. Obi by no, or no person yenja. Obi anka na train. But that's what we've been doing over the years. But atem did you know? In fact, Esan Komaka Chere so did you man penya tema or your lawyer? I mean, and Jamra, and that has been happening. But I just put out the story for you in 2023. Obi Adidin and Akufo-Addo atem. They picked him. Huh? Oh, it is here. He was arrested.
Make a reference.
Yeah, he was arrested.
Who?
Caught.
Oyaba.
Oh, let me
tell you relax because
I need to get it. Court remands man for insulting Akufo-Addo. 17th May 2023.
Who reported it?
Oh, this is my journal online. Oh, I deal with credible sources. So this is a GNA report. And Accra
Ghana News Agency.
Yeah,
report.
and Accra Circuit Court has remanded into police custody a 40-year-old tile setter for insulting President Nene Akufo-Addo. Raphael Oko Ankra, also known as Oko Killer, was arrested after police saw a video posted on social media showing the accused using very unsavory words on the president. He has since pleaded not guilty to offensive conduct conducive to breaches of the peace. Where year 2023. Insult to.
When am I is Ankumabeka say insulting the president is not a crime?
No, only the crime was Obi did you on my penny meals at them. And now top radio and some now or cabana something and the police arrested him for creating fear and panic. And no now say insulting president, the president is no crime and I no offense and I edit your memoir. We've seen presidents being insulted. It's not part of our culture, but almost we have accepted it. But say Obi Enam there, it doesn't add anything to our politics. So me, I don't dwell on it so much. But your leaders know they deserve respect. But say minya ato bepa betina ha, I can say free speech is under attack. And I haven't seen it.
Of course you won't see it.
See, GJ president only last week. GJ president
1 month alone.
GJ president only last week. Echo presidency. He led a delegation there. Or see, he feels safe. And I say under President Mahama, on one who difference media protection no my journalists and
Papa journalists for some more elections as well. Yeah, Papa Let's tell me say Mbo be
it was a police officer, and that police officer you saw it.
He was
there
interdicted.
He
was relieved of his duty
immediately. And yes, Uka we Nana Akufo-Addo asem like under President Akufo-Addo assembly see a cry. Journalist and then we the killers of Ahmed Zwali. He has to take the police under John Dramani Mahama to arrest a suspect. Now, Nene Akufo-Addo in Nkrofo for so long a time want to be arrested. There is another journalist of media, multimedia, was attacked at the way in front of the police headquarters. And then he and his lawyers have been moving up and down for compensation because journalism no crown on to me practice ye. Asan is a nyama wa sofa. And he's working. So who are there now?
Okay.
Let's stop pretending.
Very well.
The MPP
whether you like it or not, that's what is happening right now.
In terms of
that's what we are saying right now.
Mamenko citizen at Chodazi on minim say initial comments no so like we are not the befa dia bra.
Oh, okay, maminke bia.
Kebie.
You see,
man can be
Erabi mamincho.
Majodo.
Baby. Na mincha wait for na show from pim. Ah, waje bro wash hand. Mincha ma munya ato. Na munya kuku na the working in the is exactly how Ghana has been treated by the NDC and the MPP and every regime. In fact, if a Rollins are able to do that, similarities of these conversations have always happened.
From the days of culture of silence.
You understand? And I think the Odu baby I don't think it's going to get any better because even though we have laws and has threshold, the law can be used at a time that you will find yourself in a way I bet I'm being witch hunted. Unfortunately, that's the case. because just under former President Ronaldo, you can mention a lot of things that people said they were being attacked. In fact, there was no free speech. In fact, BBC reported Ghana's free speech crackdown.
Yeah.
When Voma Womo were arrested. We can talk about Captain Smart, how many times he was arrested. We can talk about Semi V being arrested at a PCFM. You know, most things can be talked about. And then, so if Idichima, people will tell you, young man, your friend, Adenta Kumi.
Say Obama.
You
fancy comedy was
talk about also a lot of people who have been arrested. It's important there. We need to have a better conversation about these things.
And you know what I've observed with all of these politically motivated arrests, both an MPP and NDC.
Exactly.
Exactly. You don't see the end of the matter.
Exactly. So it is clear that people want to show you where power lies.
Exactly.
That's all. Me enche bibi kakra. It's what show bibi kakra ni we are. To them is make and that's the best description. What show kakra would do tum kakra will be delay will bill kakra. Why ya would do on court will deny you bill like Vama Omi. I mean, in their case, they didn't assault. They went on demonstration. They were arrested and detained. For how long they were detained for?
Over a week.
You understand?
In the case of Vomawo, Vomawo was not arrested for arresting. Let us put things into their right place. No, Vomawo was not arrested for insulting.
Vomawo was not the only one who was arrested.
Yes, but all of them were not arrested for insulting presidents.
Exactly.
Some were actually arrested for doing nothing.
Let's talk about it. He mentioned Vomawo.
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's different from criticizing the president. It's different from
Democracy Hub before.
No,
you just mentioned Democracy Hub.
Or you see Vomawo because Onona or the reference to the whole thing. You know.
It wasn't only
and can you mention their crime, their charge?
Who were arrested?
What were they charged?
But say Nebusa Bronya charge him.
We are talking about free speech. We are talking about free speech. It's not about even insulting the president. We are talking about free speech. And the fact that when you are to obey, why not you know about insult President Mahama?
But it's not part of who we are.
To even speak.
Yes, and that's how it is.
Free speech in
that's
general.
How it is.
We are not talking about insulting president. We are talking about free speech
the atmosphere
in general.
Very soon, everybody will stop talking.
If Rollins na Breda, you assure them they were afraid to speak.
Oh yes.
That is why Obitide President Anadomu they were held because they spoke truth to power. You understand? The same under President Kufuor, there were issues like this.
Yeah.
And they were silenced. And people were not happy about it.
Yeah.
You can talk about President Mahama. Even the first time some of these arrests happened.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that instead of making it look like a new thing, won't be that. Because
it's been a subculture.
It's not, you see, it's not like that. Like if you don't, I've seen NPP people who have said worse things. They've said worse things. They've never been arrested.
When?
You understand? Oh, me can't in the answer me.
Just give me one example.
Who have said things
no, give me just one example who has said worse things. What did Afenyo say? But other person not Afenyo can. No, sometimes when we let things slide, people just make what does Afenyo say? So tell us, say we are here. If you say it and you say it, what did Afenyo say?
No, but Obutu questions be but we is in.
I think the meaning why I fixated on insulting the president. We are not talking about insulting them. We are talking about free speech.
Free speech. Because
and what I'm saying is that Afenyo has said a whole lot, even slapped a security officer. He was not arrested. You understand? No, we shouldn't pretend and make it look like, a particular problem. Mama, let's address these things dispassionately. You understand? We are talking about free speech. There are money, there more make kamadrin, there are someone so I know that we should define what free speech is.
Even when it is not true,
you understand? Some of these things,
considerations must go in.
Bibi, Mekade, last week Friday, I make on another station, the Ghana Yakasadodo. We talk too much, and that is the problem of this country.
When did you
Rwanda, Rwanda.
Yeah.
Now today, that year in the Yabutumi acquire Rwanda. You can't.
Even though it's a democracy.
You can't.
You can't go and talk like this on radio.
You can't. But you see, in another time, when people were being arrested for insulting President Nana-Addo, people spoke against it. There, on your shame. It's difficult for you, the same person, to come and tell us something different. You understand? So the point I'm making is that, Mama, you the mad in a year. There, or power. Everything is okay for me to do it. In Miami position, there is something wrong with it. We should understand that the law is the law and will be the law.
And I knew you would end on that note.
And
okay, 98.9 FM, EpaHoaDaben Jumedie Enie. There are other matters on the table. Edi Ehon Komo. CDD is urging Yoko to probe NPP presidential hopefuls. Ometua 4 million Ghana cedis, in addition to the 60,000 Ghana cedis filing fees. Na Ibusasa, is there a basis for this call? Operation Recover All Loots is at risk of failure. Utie General Secretary of the party, addressing NDC Lawyers Association. In fact, Edu Hono, he mentioned Attorney General, or say, Attorney General, I mean, pressure is mounting, and we are aware the things we are hearing. Nyomotieni said, after NDC 4-year campaign on the back of anti-corruption, almost the Ora Eba, in fact, Ora shall say before inauguration of the president. Now, Omo Chingan and Yana Koye Jume NDC lawyers at the Ora report to your business. So I say Omo Kati deals with people who are supposed to be facing the law. Then I ask myself, say, the last time our Attorney General had a press conference,
98.9.
Obubo MPP forbidden. Me debi ame kansa se me kase ogu omu hufi because as far as we know, ofo obi anko court. But what the crimes are kesia toto wo so. I remember it is the reason Gift Yoware had to cut her visit to the UK short and come back to the country. Fi so obaye we see more a litany of alleged corrupt cases. We've seen, I think, 2 press conferences from the AG. We've seen 2 press conferences from the special prosecutor. None of these key cases are before the courts, yet they have already been publicly persecuted or prosecuted. Inti na ora no na your business and I say you really meant business. It be say ora man when you the mobile opposition. And no na babe other matters and so eda epono so Benyiri conflict and also so the interior minister has made a move, set up a committee to look for a roadmap. Yeni sound komwe, yemo sound komwe. Misha same few ho koku.
Bibi, me da say, my main show, citizen, any atu, or the other atu.
Atu MPP.
Okay, atu. No, because my boss citizen. That's why. I like that.
Oh yes, yeah, this man, par excellence. Yeah. Efforts for credit no dance here.
Bibi ni omu ni say your general secretary honorable Fifi Avikwete. Unless you don't know him, that is who he is. Or no asem no who's idea no koswa. He doesn't mean words. No. Then when
he's
we
not
had
that type.
No, he's not. You remember on the 10th of June, time na the former NDC party, so there was an event, a commemorative event at the party headquarters. He spoke. And he was complaining about party for omanya appointment. Yeka party same ABRC no party functions. He was complaining about them.
To me na banomaya relaxed.
So and also no
call about VAT no my modedo.
So no and obia what was our program now, you realize that is him. No. So me I wasn't surprised. But all cano I have confidence in the Attorney General because onuno okon vetting And in fact, press conferences now all year on issues of oral, any prosecution or cost no can be. So, NDC ni both appointees and those without. If you give him the opportunity, he will come after you. Because he is already an established person. Dr. Dominic Ayene is an already established person. Inti no better now ama obi amana abe say anything. So no he will come after you. So I have confidence. But you see, Yamana Yakoso no. Now in some microphone now yes no. I don't know. We need to find a way to deal with them because you see, to have an issue. Now we will fetch it. So you will be cutting deals. And sitting here, I've heard things. You know, and some of the things is quite scary. It's kind of it's quite an amount. I see. So those things must be dealt with. But I do not believe that the Attorney General will be involved directly in this.
Why
but
not?
What? No. That's what I'm telling you.
Why not? The NDC lawyers are not workers of the Attorney General's office. NDC Lawyers Association.
Yes. Exactly.
And say Attorney General be prosecute you be MPP near. Now we are lawyer when you adwuma or AG's office basis ben na only obi kwa cut deals. It can only come from people from the Attorney General's office. They can cut deals with people who are going to be prosecuted.
No. So he's putting it to him as an AG, as the AG.
Okay.
And he was seated there. So he's the one like having but one will say there is an issue that is ongoing, especially with the plea bargaining.
Okay.
You mentioned Gift Your Worry. She's not alone in this. National Service for no. They've been moving in and out of Attorney General. At a certain point, Attorney General said beto about things say what in the office. And now move for plea bargaining. And you see, some people have a wrong perception about plea bargaining. Yeah. Plea bargaining is in our laws. UFA Act 29.
It's an indictment.
No.
If you enter plea bargaining, you are admitting that why
exactly. So and so you are admitting a crime, no. So say okay, and crime whatever it is, I'm returning it. Now, so between the Attorney General's office and who accused, you come into an agreement.
In this case, a suspect because you're accused.
Oh no!
Only no court and no accused.
No, but okay, who did
a suspect?
No, but it goes beyond. You haven't gone to the court, but you are an accused because so long as you are an accused in that case. So what happens is that if you agree, you only take it before a judge, and the judge will rule on that decision. That is what plea bargaining is. They've been going for plea bargaining, including Gift Your Worry.